short on the three. Lindeborg. Back up top. Morez Johnson. How about 6'11" knocking that down?
And that's just a byproduct, but also the shots. They aren't taking the best shots.
Liz. 2 players by the scores.
You bet. Yeah, he loves that spot. Got in the way. Dow stops, pops, and connects, plus the foul.
League already won. They are a complete team.
It's a final 76-65. North Dakota State moving on to the Summit League Tournament semifinal.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by NextGen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Hanging in there?
Yeah. You gave me the side eye. Is it because I'm on the side of you?
Well, I mean, yeah, if I don't want to turn all the way around, side eye's my only option.
Wait, what are we doing? I'm good.
You know, we're just kind of doing the double finger guns, you know?
No. That's no. Let's not do that ever again. With pew pew.
Pew, pew. Can we snap while I do it? Never, ever, ever,
Wow.
ever.
Hopefully you couldn't make that out.
Sounded like you coughed a little bit. You all right?
Yeah.
Try not to, you gotta be careful, man. You need like a lozenge?
Yeah. Well, yes, I do.
Sound like Bomani Jones when he's trying to come back from the show.
Whatever happened to him? Is he just a podcaster now?
I think so, yeah. I think he's floating around in the ether.
Yeah. Sometimes I see him on my timeline.
On your algorithm?
Yeah, I don't know if I follow him though on Twitter.
I don't think I do.
Yeah, so what I had to do was you motivated me to like trim a lot of fat, so I'm going to be trimming a lot of fat.
Oh, on your following?
Yeah. I mean, I was just scrolling through trying to figure out when I originally added Kevin, and I was just looking at people like some people are no longer with us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you found
honest.
the one. I mean, it was like Chris Mortensen. I was like, wait, why am I still following Chris Mortensen?
Yeah, I was like, I don't think he's with us anymore.
Or who's the other little guy with the glasses? Is it Clayton?
Oh, yeah, John.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone too, I think.
Yeah, but it's like now John Clayton family something.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
They made like a memorial account.
I'm like, yeah, no.
I'll be honest, if somebody passes, I don't unfollow them. I feel bad.
Well, I'm kind of like that in my phone.
Yeah. Oh, same. Yeah. Whether it's like, I know you don't have Facebook, but Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, my contacts, I just leave it.
Do you like Facebook?
I don't like
it
Facebook
to book your face.
I find it.
How'd the lawsuit turn out? No, that was IG. Who's being sued for like in enticing kids to become addicted? Is it Instagram?
Yeah, it's IG, but that Facebook owns them, so it's kind of the same deal.
Is it Zuckerberg guy?
Yeah, Meta.
Meta?
That's the name of the company that like over everything is Meta.
Oh, the more you know.
But no,
I need to get with this whole pop culture. Meta.
I think
like as in world peace, but different.
Yeah, I think it's only one T.
Oh, not Ron Artest?
Yeah.
Ron Artest only had 2 T's.
Yeah, he went 2 T's. I think the Zuck just went with the one.
I think it's because Artest.
Maybe.
2 T's.
I don't know. I think you just didn't know how to spell Meta.
I have a guy on my phone that's 2 T's.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. He calls himself 2 T's.
Who's that?
Well, I call him that. His name it's our O-line coach, Brett.
Oh, why do you call him 2 T's?
Funny
Because
story.
it's got 2 T's at the end of Brett?
No, because this was like year 1, maybe. This typifies his personality. So this is a long time ago.
Okay.
And he says a lot of borderline things to me, right? But we're close, so like he can kind of push the envelope. And we were leaving practice one day, and I go, man, I said, I've about had it. I said, I'm going to HR. I need to fill out the paperwork. And he goes, it's Brett with 2 T's.
I knew I liked that dude. That's a great line.
Oh, it was. I stumbled all over the track walking into the building. It was one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
That's really funny.
So I call him 2 T's.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What a line.
He in his delivery.
Yeah, probably didn't like just stone cold.
It's Brett with 2 T's.
His face doesn't change a lot, you know?
No. So he's just.
You know, he's probably thinking to you, he's like, man, I got real problems. I don't worry about you.
Exactly.
Like, it's Brett with 2 T's. Good luck with that.
Exactly. It's like, you know what I deal with on the daily. So, yeah, I locked him in. It's a little better than L3, but.
It is. It's a much better origin story for sure.
Yeah, although, do you know why it is L3 outside of just having the 3 L's?
I do not.
People can never put them in the correct order. They just can't.
Yeah.
I see a lot of LLs. It's like, all right, let's get this figured out.
Every once in a while, somebody tries to pronounce the middle 2 as like a Hispanic. They're like
Yamo?
Luya.
Like Yamo, Te Yamo?
Yeah, but yeah, they try and give me the Y on the double L, and it's like, nope, that's not.
The Y on the double L.
Yeah, like, como te llama?
Yeah, I got it.
I got 5 on it. Wow. Yeah, people that sound like that, they pronounce their L's. We keep them in there, you know? Watch me. Don't get confused with, don't get started on Padilla, though, because that'll confuse everybody.
So I feel like Padilla and Padilla,
yeah.
As in Edgar, the old UMass point guard that played with Mr. Travieso.
Okay.
I feel like Jacob let people slide with that for a couple years. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, this is how you're supposed to say it.
Yeah, I don't know.
People said Padilla
for a long
time.
By the time I knew him, he was correcting people.
Was he?
Yeah.
He's like, that's not my name.
Like, that's not how you
what
say
if he just stopped answering? But like, you'd call his name and it would be wrong, and he'd just keep it pushing.
Be like, you're not talking to me.
Talking to me.
You talking to me?
You talking to me?
No, I kind of understand. I mean, people give me the Ravi a lot.
Yeah.
But I also understand how close the 2 sound, so I give it a pass.
Ravi?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Somebody just texted me and said Robbie. Who was it? I don't want to dime them out, but if I think about it, I might just say it out loud.
It's
Robbie.
not. It doesn't bother me. I correct them when I have an opportunity, but if it's not somewhere there, it's like sometimes somebody on Twitter will call me Robbie, and I'm like, you literally had to look at my name in order to send this.
Well, what excuse do you give Liquid?
Well,
Come on, man.
Shane had a couple different issues because he knew how it was spelled, and then he would say it correctly every time until he would get on the phone with a guest, and then inexplicably, when telling him our names, he looked like his pronunciation of my name looked like Charles Barkley's golf swing.
Chicken sandwich.
He would just like stumble over it. He'd like get right up to it, and then he'd trip. And it's like, you say it fine every other time. He's gotten over that though. He doesn't do that anymore.
Very nice. Very nice. Would you like to play
a game?
The game. I think you should know today because he is definitely a repeat contributor.
Oh, we've got Addison.
Very good.
Got Addison Williams.
And the other guy.
One D-bag Hurley.
That's not.
Oh, sorry, Dan Hurley.
Wow.
Daniel.
I see you didn't take a moment to watch the expose.
I chose not to. I'm going to be honest with you. So I watched the other thing, the 2 Hurleys or whatever it was, the longer one. And I was like, okay, I get your dad loved your brother more than you, obviously. And that sucks. Like, I get it. But like your daddy issues are not my problem.
Wow.
Like you don't have to make that.
I keep telling you, sin and wounds of the father is a real thing.
That's fine. I get that. But so is accountability and self-control and self-determination. Those are all real things also.
L3 here for compassion and action. Let's go.
I have compassion when people like try. Like it sounded like a lot of
it was contrite.
If it sounded like a lot of excuse making, it's like, I'm like this because of my daddy.
Wow.
I'm like this because my dad was mean to me. It's like, cool, man. A lot of people's dads are mean to them. Figure it out.
Oh,
I'm listening.
I mean, I think the press has been an asshole to me the whole year.
You think? Or you still just trying to make dad proud? Like, what are we doing, man? At some point, like.
What American Idol was that? With the guy with the gray, Taylor Hicks.
Oh, the old dude. Old
This
head.
is what we dream about.
Yeah. I mean, you went back-to-back natties, and you still have like, Dad, do you love me yet? Like,
you proud?
come on, man.
I like that song. I might have even shed a tear. He's not an old guy. He was prematurely great.
He was old for the group, though. It was near the cutoff for the top age for American Idol.
Yeah,
I think he was like 34 or something. But like the cutoff for American Idol is 35, I think, or it was.
Don't you remember that finale?
No, I remember the guy. I don't remember the finale.
Do I make you proud?
This might come as a shock to you. I wasn't like a big American Idol guy.
Well, don't say it like you watch all the cool hip Mr. Toxic masculinity shows.
I watch whatever I want, but I just was not super into American
Riverdale
Idol
guy and things like
not
that.
Riverdale, One Tree Hill. How dare you? You know this about me. I don't give a single bleep about what anybody thinks that I like. But I will correct you if you're right. I'm like, love Creed. I was like, do not compare them to Nickelback. How dare you?
For whatever the reason on my timeline, why are they on my timeline? But they like apparently walked off of the stage once.
Who, Creed?
Nickelback.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. They were like, hey, are you ready? It was recent.
So how is that on your timeline?
So again, like the algorithm, much like the general public, confuses Creed with Nickelback. And I'm like, guys, these are not the same. I also do like a lot of music stuff on my timeline, so that's part of it. Probably is it's like, well, he likes Creed, and he likes music.
I just saw that they were like, "Hey, who's ready for some such?"
And nobody
such?
made,
and the crowd was just like crickets.
It was silent. He's like, "All right, well, I guess we're not doing it."
Yeah,
and he just walked off. Honestly, kind of a gangster move. That's
exactly. That sounds like the one I was trying to find.
So it's like we're at the bar again.
Knock it off. I don't. So, okay, I'm not going to gas the whole cricket thing up again.
Yeah.
But I think you should appreciate my competitiveness.
No.
Of trying to stalk a cricket.
I mean, it wasn't that. It was you genuinely seemed to question. You were like, are crickets smarter than us? That's what got me.
Is that funny?
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Sasha apparently thinks that's funny.
Like, I get the competitive stamina, I get the staying on it, I get the curiosity, but like at one point you were genuinely asking me, you're like, are crickets smarter than us?
I just don't know why I can't ever find those things.
Because they're so small, DB. They can hide in places you can't get to. It's like when I was watching Bella, your dog, at my house, and she could get on all the nooks and crannies that my stupid pumpkin-headed dogs can't get into, and I'm like,
can I pet that dog?
Bella, how'd you get in here? Imagine a much, much smaller version.
That little terror was hiding in the freezer.
You sent me the picture. I don't even know how she got in there.
She was looking for ice. And I couldn't close the door. And I was like, dang, is something stacked? And you know what? I'm pretty anal. Like,
yeah, about the way the organization is. Yeah.
I mean, it lays flat in there. And I was like, what? I was like, donk. And I'm glad I didn't like
force it.
Like force it, because
you'd have heard about it.
And then I just see this little head just looking at me under the. I'm like, is it not? Why won't you take your little narrow behind out there and go to the bathroom if you can get in the freezer?
Dude, that's my favorite part about dogs is the lack of, like, one of our dogs loves swimming.
Yeah.
Will not go outside when it's raining. And I'm like, it's water, man. What are we doing? Or like loves swimming, but will tear the entire house down before getting a bath. And I was like, that thing wet. What are we doing here?
One thing about Bella, she likes baths.
That's good. You got to get in on the baths early. So that's not a whole thing.
She likes baths. I think most Frenchies, they don't mind the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's spoiled.
Well, they're easier to control too because they're a little smaller.
Yeah. And she had to get rabies shots because, get this. How cool is my vet? Where they called last week and said, hey, we have a recall on our rabies shots. Apparently, the distributor did not unpack vials of what just would have been water. So she may have not actually got the vaccination.
Gotcha. It might have just been the water.
Yeah. So we're like, hey, this one's on the house. Bring her back. And I was like, how does that happen?
I don't know, man. Not everybody's good at their jobs.
You think I got injected with water yesterday?
Probably not.
God, she's so fast. It's like, I don't think they like talking to me anymore. She's like,
I'm in and out. Like, I was
like, hey, but what about my blood pressure?
Man, don't worry about it.
Like, do you want it? It's fine.
So you seem all right. Don't worry about it.
I felt bad because I interrupted their lunch.
Oh, well, that's why she didn't want to talk to you.
No, you know what's funny? So this isn't going to happen to you guys. I recommend NextGen to everybody. I mean, it's a great place, and I have a ton of fun. But I did walk in yesterday, and they go, "Oh, don't worry. He won't care that we're eating. He can't eat this anyway."
What were they eating?
How do you know? What if I want that?
What were they eating?
McDonald's.
No, yeah, you're like, nah, you're not gonna eat that.
I mean, it's a good call.
They must listen to the show.
But I don't think we talk about my dietary intake.
Yeah, we do.
No, I don't talk about it with them.
Oh, no, I'm saying they must listen to the show.
Oh, yeah, probably. One thinks they're funnier than me. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're absolutely not. It's not a chance.
Give them a call, 402-614-9700. Go hang out.
Yeah, she was giving me ashy vibes without saying it yesterday because she was telling me how she has to tell her husband to put lotion on his face. And immediately I was self-conscious. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, am I feeling a little ashy today?
I might be a little ashy. How'd I do with the lotion? I can't check because I can't see. No, I'm just playing. I'm glad I could entertain you guys this morning.
That's good. No, it's part of the deal.
Yeah, Kobe's apparently laughing at me already.
He wants you to hit a stanky leg.
I'm just playing you guys. I'm good. Thank you for not being on camera. I'm good. I'm here to entertain. I want you guys to have fun. I don't take myself that seriously unless I'm pissed about treating players poorly. How about that meltdown?
Well, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. It'll be all right.
I
didn't feel like it was a meltdown. I thought it wasn't. Nice little philosophical discussion we had.
I had to get that out.
A little philosophy.
Would you like to guess why I have these two gentlemen's?
That's a good question.
It's a wrong question.
It's not the wrong question.
This dude must be ready for the weekend.
He's trying to get out of here.
This dude is gassed already. What time? It's like 7:08, and this dude is like, no, it's way later.
7:18.
Well, that too.
Well, you gotta understand though.
Rico, I'm not gonna say that.
Do we have Rico back today?
He's back in town. I don't think is he at home, Sash? Yeah, he's at home.
Oh, hi. What's up, Suave? How was Gainesbridge Arena?
Brief stay, unfortunately.
Clearly.
I mean,
why are you bringing up old stuff?
I mean, it was like 2 days ago. Wasn't that old?
Who doesn't give up 16-point leads?
Yeah.
I don't talk about it.
Leading for 38 minutes, 54 seconds. Don't know who's counting.
Hey, go Big Ten Wrestling.
TK says because Addison Williams is closing.
Closing time.
Big semisonic guy.
One more time for a DB.
That's all.
It's a huge recruiting weekend. We can talk to old television about that when he
Rico said
comes on at 8.
It was terrible. So much Pacer stuff everywhere. And also Nebraska couldn't hold a lead. Yeah, I forget as a Knicks fan, that's probably a traumatic place for him after last year.
I mean, Reggie, it's not like they're scoring 14 points in 9 seconds or 9.
No, you still got the ghost of Tyrese Halliburton though.
Hey, my man walked off with the.
You know what was wild? The funniest thing about that is they still had to play overtime because they called his foot on the line, and it didn't matter.
It's weird that guy's in the NBA, and the Pacers are going to be good next year.
Oh, they're going to be really good. Yeah. Like the Pacers played this. I think perfectly.
The NBA will be. Everybody comes back healthy.
Yeah, they'll be in good shape. I'm excited about it.
As long as Kevin Durant doesn't kill Tyler Hero by then. Why is he so sensitive?
KD?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, if I was one of the most prolific scorers on the planet, I'd be like,
my man's got burners on top of burners.
Yeah, I think that's what set him off. Because Hero, if the audio is real, and by the way, with what's going on with AI, like you got to double check everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, did Sue Bird pass? Oh, we lost Art Shell? Like, where's all this stuff coming from? No. So then I got to go to like
people just making stuff up.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Like what's the joy?
Did you see the kids using AI to enhance their
but some of those
clips?
passes look like trash. That wasn't even good.
I know. I was mostly watching the runs, and then there was like,
how about the trajectory of one of those balls?
It's like
I was like,
there's 2 20-yard lines. What happened there?
I mean, one looked like landing the Goodyear blimp. That thing was like,
Well, you got to get over the top of the defense.
over the top of the stadium. Like, kids are crazy, man. Don't you know? Like, when you get there, they're gonna be like, "What happened to the tape?"
Yeah, what's the end game there? Like, you get on campus, that NIL deal is getting voided in a hurry.
Yeah, they're like, "Yeah, this you ain't it."
Like, oh, you used AI to get recruited? Yeah, null and void. Sorry,
Yeah, holler at your boy.
you do not get paid.
Yeah, so
you do not pass go. You do not collect $200.
I have to double and triple check everything. Now, I am trying to be better about utilizing my resources too, which is why I had you ask your wife about the food storage thing.
Oh,
because those are AI generated.
I know, and some of them are good, but there's some, like a lot of them are just not true.
No, I don't believe that.
They aren't.
Well,
man.
I'm gonna need you to find one and tell me it's not true. You just don't get to put your opinion on that.
Literally the one that you told me about the onions.
So maybe we misheard it.
I didn't hear anything. You just you relayed the information to me.
Yeah, they just were like, I don't know. What was the one yesterday? I was learning about strawberries, taking them out of the container right away. But I've been doing that. I don't know why anybody would leave them in the container.
Well,
I even, like, when I used to get deli lunch meat, I would have taken it out of that plastic immediately.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't buy a lot of strawberries.
Yeah, I have a problem
With strawberries?
No, I have a problem with I'm addicted to my vacuum sealer.
Oh, yeah, you do like that thing.
Yeah, I intentionally vacuum seal things that, like, I individually vacuum seal Zoe's corn dogs.
That's fine.
Why?
Okay.
That's how things get done.
Like before or after they're cooked.
Why aren't you intrigued before you laugh?
Because I'm just imagining you in your kitchen just taking individual corn dogs and vacuum sealing them. And it's a funny visual, man.
Okay. Can I just say this, though?
Especially because I'm imagining it at like 3:00 in the morning where nobody's up and you're just like, I got to vacuum seal more stuff.
No, because it's not loud, but it's not made for
Okay,
that.
so why vacuum seal corn dogs?
Because I don't want the little ice things on her corn dogs.
Okay.
And they come in just a box, like
Without
there's
like a wrapper.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So that started it.
Okay.
And then I just started getting creative.
Why individually? And
I individually wrap, vacuum seal. Well, I put them in twos because he eats two at a time.
Okay.
But like hash browns.
Okay.
Like they're not in the bag. Like or maybe a serving of.
How long is this stuff staying in the freezer?
Oh,
like on average.
Less than a month.
Yeah, your Ziploc baggies, the freezer ones, will probably do the job.
No, I don't like the way they look.
Okay. So it's an aesthetics thing.
Oh. Well, I would like to be practical with the ice frizz.
I know, but like
I don't like ice frizz.
If you're in a
Wasn't pretty.
which I understand, you don't want like the you don't want like freezer burn or whatever on the stuff. I understand that.
Yeah.
But if you're under a month and you get like the good freezer bags, that's not really a concern.
And can I just say this and move on without you cracking jokes?
Sure.
Don't matter to me.
It's aesthetically, it looks pretty slick. Like it's a better look. It's fine.
You asked me not to make any. I was kind of doing a like, if you don't have anything nice to say.
It sounds like a huge waste of time.
In your freezer, it aesthetically looks better in your freezer that no one sees.
Okay.
I wondered what was so funny.
That's
She's practically falling out of her chair.
That's the thing I was also laughing about.
Okay, it's fine.
I was also, here's the other part of it, right? Is it reminded me of, I'm gonna be honest, it reminds me of my wife's throw pillows, because she'll make the bed and she'll put the throw pillows on, and I'm like, babe, who are these for?
Oh,
what is the, like, what's the end? I was like, no one besides us is ever in here. Who are the throw pillows for? And she's like, they're for me. I think they look nice.
Laughing.
And I go, we have to take them off every night. We could not put them on because
I had to pull out a napkin. I'm crying laughing.
no one sees it.
It's fine.
Now, if you were to tell me, like, here's the thing that would have made sense to me. If you'd have been like, hey, when I vacuum seal them organizationally, I can fit more stuff cleanly.
Well, that's part of it. That's really what I'm talking about.
That's not what you said, though.
Yeah, aesthetically, it fits the storage. Like I can do more. So I have a thing. Okay, fine, Juan. Juan, like we used to be like this. I don't need a hot. So this is a pet peeve.
TJ says butcher paper. Use butcher paper.
So I need butcher paper. I had to actually put that pork butt in foil. I need butcher paper. I'm out. But I don't like if you get a box of like a thing of like yogurt, and you just take one thing out and you put the box in the fridge, or if you get a box of fruit snacks and you just take a fruit snack and leave the box, or a box of like if I put like my butter, like I'm taking it out of the box and I'm putting all the little individuals.
Yeah. Save space, a little bit more efficient.
It just looks better. It okay. Well, maybe not for you.
I do it from a practical standpoint.
It's just annoying, and I don't.
If you've got a half-filled box of yogurt, then it's a waste of space.
Yeah, like you buy stuff in bulk. Stop looking at the stream because they're just gassing your fire. I need eye contact.
I'm ready. I'm locked in.
I need support.
I'm here. I'm right here.
And they're just egging you on.
Let me try and next time you have this conversation with
we could move on
about vacuum sealing stuff. I'd leave the aesthetics at home. I'd leave that in my own brain for me personally. I'd be like, it just allows me
there's
to
just
organize.
Soothing when you see like
that's where
tight
we go again.
plastic thing against whatever it is, and it just looks cleaner.
I'm trying to help, man. I really am.
I'm just sharing. Apparently, nobody.
No, it's good. I'm glad you feel like you can share here. It's a safe space,
Apparently not.
The tree of trust. I find it a little amusing that you find that soothing, but to each their own. You gotta get through the day however you can.
So, like, you guys, should I just stop? I'm just gonna stop. What?
The only question I have is on your TikTok. Do you come across those people that have all those containers in their fridge where they take out their eggs and put them in and stock their fridge that way?
I'm not
super clean.
I'm not that bad. We have a ton of containers, but the storage containers sometimes aren't practical for fridge space. Believe it or not.
I agree.
Like they're just not.
Yeah, sometimes they're a little clunky. They're not. They don't work well.
But I am looking at this thing. It's like it dispenses eggs a couple at a time, and you put them in, and you take one off the bottom, and it kind of rolls down the chute, and then you get it.
I don't think I've seen one of those.
Yeah, you're not gonna support me.
I have a thing like that for sodas, where it loads it up and then it kind of rolls down as you grab one. Cans.
So also in my defense, I know, I buy chicken breast and thighs and stuff in bulk, and there's something about vacuum sealing it when I put them in the freezer, so I can just grab hey, this has 3 breasts in it, or this has 5 thighs, and it looks pretty slick. The other thing is sometimes when you have young kids, you unfortunately eat processed stuff. So Zoe went through a chicken patty phase.
Okay,
she liked chicken patties, and so I didn't like the patties just being in the whatever brand they came in, because they would get the little ice fuzzies on them and stuff, and so I just vacuum sealed them all in pairs.
Okay,
and they lay flat. The patties, at least to me, don't seem as processed and condensed meaty when I see them in a vacuum sealed bag other than pulling them out of the thing. I do it with their sausage patties. I don't know, it looks better.
Vogler says our family raised 23 acres of strawberries. Should have called the farm Strawberries and Cream. If you know, you know.
Les has been on a heater lately. He sent me an Instagram yesterday. I'm still laughing. Yeah, it just looks cleaner.
Justin says, you still can't leave food out on the counter for 2 weeks just because you vacuum sealed it.
It's fine. Again.
Juan says, I put eggs in a plastic bag and smash them so they fit better aesthetically.
Oh, Juan is out here tripping this morning. Really, Juan?
Your boy Scott's getting into it. He goes, DB, after a bad day, where's the vacuum sealer? I need to seal some shit.
It's kind of right. I saw his wife yesterday.
I can understand how the process is like sort of cathartic a little bit.
She helped me find the feta. She's like, hey, how come I don't see you in the mornings anymore? And I was like, well, I turn the other way. And she says, well, sometimes we see you leave, but then you turn right and not left. And I was like, well, the studio's just right over here on Mockingbird. It's a lot easier. And I was like, hey, by the way, where's the feta? And she's like, aisle 18, top shelf. I was like, bless your heart.
I think Kobe brings up a good point here.
Oh, no. If I sit down, then I'm going to read.
Yeah.
See, I can't see the words from this far away, but there's a lot. Who's writing all this?
That's Tim. Tim says, I try and listen to this in the background, but when DB starts explaining some of his oddities, I am enthralled. I've been late to meetings to listen to them.
So should I not explain and just leave it alone?
No, I love it. This is great.
No,
this is terrific.
I don't believe you're being sincere at all. There's a lot of prick in that.
So Kobe asks a question. He says, do you think the small amount of freezer burn is going to hurt you? Or is it just a flavor? Is it a flavor appearance? Do you think it's harmful or you just don't like it?
I don't think it's harmful. It's ugly.
Okay. So back to the aesthetics on the.
And I think it helps in. This is terrible. I mean, she's in.
You think it helps with the what? Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
She's dying.
It's fine.
You leave food out on the counter for a ridiculous amount of time, but aesthetically can't handle freezer burn is why I'm crying.
That's sort of where I was going.
Wow.
TJ brings up a good point. He's defending you. He says the freezer burn dries out the meat. That's true.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
Wow. I tried. This is not my family.
No, it's good.
I can't just have nice, normal conversations.
It's well,
I'm listening.
Change.
I haven't laughed at all.
It's fun. It's good.
No. I'm not to use the T word, TK. I'm not happy. Not happy.
Coming up on the show today, we got Tim Verghese from Inside Nebraska at 8:00. We've got Mike Sautter, 9:00. Hurrdat Sports, NebPreps.
She's legit dabbing tears.
He is. He's been at girls' state basketball all week.
Some spectacular endings yesterday. A little controversy.
Prince
controversy.
Got a lot going on there, so we'll talk to Mike about that.
He said never change. You guys just like you pet this special needs kid. I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to tell you where I'm at.
David says what's funny is DB thinks this is a normal conversation.
It's fine.
Well, I think TJ's got your back, though.
You get love letters, and I'm crazy.
He was nice to you in that too.
So, you guys don't like the rationale?
No, I understand the practicality of the organization. You started to lose me on the aesthetics, and there is a level of irony between the freezer burn and the left out food and what bothers you and what doesn't.
Okay, that's funny. She feels validated for crying over there.
Like there's,
what if I have better food storage practices all of a sudden?
That would be terrific. I'd be very happy for you. I'd be
I don't.
less concerned about your health.
I don't. I just ate steak out of a Ziploc bag the other day.
Okay. Little Cloud says freezer burn is different than simple ice crystals, by the way.
I get it. I know what he's saying. He's right.
I don't know
I don't like the way it looks on the food when you get ready to eat it.
Does it
or cook it?
I would say because by the time you cook it, it's gone, right? Like I'm not. That's,
yeah.
Okay.
It disappears.
Okay.
It just gives me like it's.
It makes you think it's not like good.
Save it, Sasha. It just gives me like it's old vibes.
I am old.
I'm thinking I'm gonna go home now.
Bruin Steve says there's a food storage thought process here that makes this fascinating. I think that's where I'm at, Steve. I'm genuinely fascinated by the conclusions that we land on. Funky Giblet says,
Thank you, Justin.
Says I think he means not fresh.
Whatever.
Honestly, DB, if I had a vacuum sealer, I'd probably do the same thing, having been a chef for over 10 years. That makes sense. You know, a lot of vacuum sealing.
I do, to Scott's point, there is something, and I've said this at home, you know, to whomever thinks I have a fixation with the vacuum sealer. I do think there's something therapeutic about watching what was my favorite part of the plant?
Of the at the
outside of
cow
how fast they
processing?
could carve the beef. What part did I want to go back and look at?
Oh, when they were packaging it and it was coming through the thing and it was like,
yeah.
And
I was like, hey, is this hot? Is this shrink wrap? Like, how does this work?
You did ask a lot of questions about the packaging.
I was like, can I touch the plastic? And he was kind of that's kind of weird, but go ahead.
Sure, man, if you want to.
There's something fascinating about the process.
I do like how he kind of gave you a look where he almost wanted to be like, don't stick your hand like in the conveyor belt. Like,
okay, you're doing too much.
You can touch it after. That's what it seemed like. That's the look he gave.
Really?
I had a flashback to like 20 years ago when we were in high school together, and somebody would ask a question that he would just be like, well, I wouldn't.
Now I'm going to ask him if he thought I was being weird. Like, did he give a head tilt?
He kind of not like a dog that's confused. Like, he didn't go full like, but it was kind of just like a real subtle.
You didn't think that was pretty slick how that worked?
It looked super cool. At the part that he gave the head tilt to was, I don't think he understood immediately which portion of the process you wanted to touch the plastic on. And I think he thought like, well, part of this is going to be pretty dangerous if you do that. So don't do that. But you could do it over here and it would be fine. I don't know why you would want to, but it's okay. That's the vibe I got from Connor.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. It's fine.
Yep. I feel fine.
It wouldn't. Mervin says it's called a cryovac machine.
Yeah, and it is sensational.
I was fascinated because they're using the water. Like
that was the whole thing with me. And I was like, well, can I get the same I'm gonna say this and I'm moving on.
Okay.
I don't need any editorials.
Okay.
When I saw that, I immediately thought, hey, when I vacuum seal my meat, should I clean it? Like, because I'm gonna anyway.
Yeah. Like the packaging.
And then vacuum seal it.
Mm.
Could I get the same effect?
So
that was I get the whole touching thing was kind of weird, but I could see the steam. So I was like,
no, this part makes sense. I understood this part.
I could see the steam and I'm like, well, the meat is raw. How hot is it? Because I don't want the beef partially.
Yeah, you don't want it partially cooked before you vacuum seal it.
Yeah. You ever left something defrosted too long, which is why I don't use I had a defrosting experience once and I don't.
You're like defrosting in the microwave, or
I don't defrost anything in the microwave anymore.
Yeah. No, I've never, I don't think I've ever successfully done it where it like ended up where I wanted it.
So, but that's where that whole, if you must know.
You know what was fascinating about the water though? It was purely for movement.
Okay.
No, it was like, you remember that part, right? Where
I understand that.
That's what I was fascinated by.
Process.
That's what I was fascinated by. He was like, oh no, the water just keeps it so they don't get stuck on anything. Because I thought it was like the special vacuum sealing process where it's like you needed the water to cool it back down or something. He's like, no, it just keeps the moving on the conveyor belt. That was interesting.
Oh my goodness.
I'm trying to help you out.
This dude would be the parent that would tell his kids, hey, you know Santa's not real, right?
Are you kidding me?
Like, I figured that part out, Ravi.
I didn't. So I was interested. That's the part I was interested in. So we could talk about your vacuum sealing. I can't be like, oh, that's interesting. That's why they use the water. It was very practical. It wasn't like I was expecting some like scientific explanation. He's like, nah, it just helps to keep moving. I was like, I might be stupid. I thought that was interesting.
It's fine.
Here's the thing, though, about Santa Claus. Wyatt, if your kids are in the car, earmuff those babies, all right? Like, cover that thing up. So I actually think Santa Claus is a very damaging concept for children because
this ought to be good.
No, this is real. This is empathetic. You'll like this. This is
I'm being a normal human. You'll like this.
This is me caring about children and their well-being. So there's this.
I'm kind of bothered by what David said. So this isn't was it David or Tim? So this isn't like regular. I'm just sharing.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine. Here's the thing about normal conversations, right? Is sometimes, especially when you are in a place where you generally feel like you can be open with people.
Apparently not.
You're gonna say some weird stuff. It just happens. It's fine. That's how you know you're having a nice conversation and you're with people you can trust. And then you can get roasted for those weird conversations, and then it'll come back around. It's like when you're like, Ravi, you like Riverdale. I'm like, it's One Tree Hill. Get it right. It's like, it's not normal for a 38-year-old man to like One Tree Hill, but here I am. What are you doing? It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's the thing about Santa Claus, right? It's a damaging social concept because when you've got lower income kids and higher income kids that interact with each other, and they all believe in Santa Claus up to a certain age, the lower income kids can think they're bad kids because they don't get as good stuff as the higher income kids if it's a Santa Claus deal, right?
It's deep.
It is, man. Like, come on. Like, that's not cool. So if you're a rich kid parent, tell them the good presents are from you and the medium presents are from Santa Claus so that their classmates don't think they're bad kids if their parents can't afford stuff.
World problem solve 101.
I mean, listen, it's not the biggest problem in the world, but I think it would help a little bit, you know?
All right.
You see that? I was showing empathy and compassion for something that has nothing to do with me.
It's pretty deep.
Just saying.
You've given that some thought.
I have. It bothers me a little bit. If you buy expensive presents for your kids, tell them they're from you. The medium to lower level stuff can be from Santa. That's all. That's all I'm asking. It's an easy fix.
I don't feel any better after this segment.
I'm just saying.
I'm very disappointed in Sasha.
What'd Sasha do?
She was practically falling out of her chair. And she couldn't talk to tell the story.
That's the funniest part is like, so she's like dabbing her eyes, crying, and then she's like mouthing things through us through the soundproof glass. And it's like, I don't know. So I can just make up in my head what I think is happening.
It's fine. Here we go. Amazing Daniel with more deep thoughts. Wow. What a
oh jeez. I don't know, man. Sid, I'm sure it would change if I had kids. I'm just saying sometimes
the stream is wild.
It is, yeah. I'm just saying sometimes when you like
there is no safe this draft.
Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. I gotta reslot.
I was like, you gotta redo your whole board.
I know it's screwed up.
You're taking that thing down like
I'm starting from scratch.
Starting from the studs. Like you gotta gut that whole house.
Yeah, I'm out on Dank now. Who fibbed and said it was his cousin Stank.
I feel like Dank Coyote and Stank Nooner have to be related. I don't know why. Which we haven't seen Stank Nooner in a while. I hope he's okay.
He might be motorcycling.
Is that a thing that he does?
Riding seat? That's what the Stank Nooner is.
Oh, I don't know.
It's a motorcycle.
Might be. Well, it might be nice this week. You might be out motorcycling. Although you can listen to us while you're, riding. Podcast it.
Yeah, I'm reshuffling the draft.
You gotta redo. I don't even know what you're gonna do with Kobe anymore.
No, I'm rocking with Kobe.
Okay.
I'm rocking with Kobe.
I mean, DJ went like way up my draft board this week. We love Lil Dave.
Lil Dave.
That's what Austin calls him.
Lil Dave. Lil Dave and the East Side Boys.
Incredible. I would 100% listen to Dave Jenner covering Lil Jon and the East Side Boys songs.
What? Okay.
Just Lil Dave and the East Side Boys singing Get Low. You got to change the lyrics though for like Central Nebraska.
Oh,
you know,
that's fine.
I don't know.
I don't know what to do.
From the chimney rock to the arch. That's a little Dave and the East Side Boys. Wow. David says he's actually done that. Okay. All right. I need an album drop, DJ. See what we got here. We do like shake it like a salt shaker. You know, get that in there. Lots of stuff. I mean, those I think are the only two Lil Jon these. Although that might be Yin Yang Twins.
It is.
That's my bad. The Yin Yang Twins are in Get Low though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't too far off.
Yeah, I know you get things confused.
Husker Addison Williams, baby. Husker Gnome says, is the draft based on sports knowledge or entertainment purposes? I think it's just overall.
So it's a lot of things.
Yeah, it's all encompassing, I think.
It's a lot of things. Sometimes, it's like putting a roster together. You need a quarterback, you need a running back.
Fit is important.
Fit's important. I need a general manager. I need a couple of analysts.
David goes, what? Okay. Joe says all the draftees need to be at the sports bar, come up on stage and get a bear hug and chest bump as he gets picked.
With a little jersey. And with the 367th pick.
Brain Goods could take care of that for us.
Yeah.
Get the little draft jersey going. Be incredible.
Can we get team hats made?
Oh, that would be great. You get the hat on, you pull it on, you get the picture, you get the bro hug from Roger Goodell.
Can you imagine Bill being like Roger Goodell? No, we'd use Chris.
Oh, Gorman would definitely do
Gorman
it.
would do it.
Gorman would 100% do it.
Bill would be like, you guys.
He'd be like, what are you guys talking
What
about?
are we doing?
He's like, I have a real job, right?
Can I have a war room?
We do need a war room.
I definitely need one. I have a lot of. I'm conflicted now. I'm shook by this last week.
We need to get the cams in the war room too. So when a pick falls to us, you can say, "Well, yeah, let's do it. Got him. It's our guy."
Just picking guys so other guys can't have them.
Yeah, just preemptive. Like, hold on, I gotta make a trade here. It's hard to make trades when you just I guess how many people we say we're gonna pick? You got a team. I've got a team. Does Shane have a team?
Shane, do you care enough? We were just trying to decide if we should let Austin and Rico be on the same team.
Yeah, it's either Austin and Rico or either separate or together. I don't know which. I don't know if we want. If Shane has his own, then Austin and Rico probably need to be together, I think.
Yeah, and it's not guests, Shane. So it's not like you can just take Jess.
Yeah, no, it is only.
Well, I'll take Dank.
I don't think Dank wants to be on your team, man. I'll be honest with you.
Why are you trying to make him feel? That's just what you do, right? You just make people feel bad.
I can't. That's my default mode. I can't help it. Except for when I'm trying to educate people about how to treat Santa Claus with their kids.
Ken wants to be on my team. I think Kobe says I need a team.
Shane,
I think you should have a team.
You got Ken B wants to be on team Shane.
Everybody.
Kobe says you should have a team. He didn't say he wants to be on your team. There's a difference.
Jeez.
Well, that's what I said. I said Kobe says I need a team.
Just trying to have clarity here.
Ravi.
Of course you are.
He says Shane's
Walt's team. He's team Shane.
Rico says me and Austin will win again.
Yeah, I can't wait for. Are we doing the quarterback thing again?
Yeah, absolutely. We should do NFL one too.
I'm very disappointed.
Yeah. Oh, Carol's hopping in the chat here.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely drafting that guy. I'm tell you that right now.
Husker Gnome's interesting because he chimes in from Twitter, and he's
a funny dude,
and he's by himself because nobody else interacts with the Twitter stream. And so, I appreciate his stick-to-itiveness,
and he uses images, like pictures and stuff. Like, dude's pretty funny.
I don't know what this means, but Carol says, "We know my stance on Team Shane, so help me, Lord." I don't know what that means, Carol.
Look at what Bruin Steve did on Twitter already. Dude, his screen grabs. And what am I saying? I think it's like, why am I here with you? Look at the look on your face.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
I think I'm saying I hate your guts.
Justin says, how many of us are on each team? We got to figure out some of the details, Justin. This is more of an in theory thing than we haven't like nailed down some of the details yet, but we will. This is definitely going to happen in the summer. Kobe says that was uncalled for, Carol, even if it's right.
Kobe's a sniper. You agreed. I get Justin.
We'll have to have a discussion on the protected picks.
Yeah, that was so. But if I say it early, I think you should just let me have it.
I like Justin because you went so early on him. I don't feel strongly enough to fight you on it. So you can have Justin.
I was going to say, if you did the opposite,
so you can have Justin.
That would be like, that would be childish.
No, there's some people I'd probably do that on, but like, I like Justin, but I probably wouldn't have made him a protected pick. So if there's somebody that
and I said that as a
you said it early. Yeah. But if there was somebody that you said early that I would have made a protected pick also, I'll fight you on it. But
I think Kobe should have been a protected pick.
I don't know. Kobe's come around on Team Ravi
you
a lot.
hated that guy.
I didn't hate him. I was like, I don't think he likes me very much. But I feel like
we went through a year of this.
I feel like we found some understanding in the last month. Listen, he's like Ezekiel Ansah. Like he just ran like a 4.3 as a
credit
DN
for early fines.
Well, I mean,
that's how the draft would work.
Not really, because by the time if the draft comes around after everybody else has also come around on your early fines, that you get zero credit.
All right, maybe it's better example would be recruiting.
Yes, recruiting is, but even then, like if signing day doesn't come at the right time,
I just won't offer till the last minute, so nobody else will either. I'll just secretly stroke the guys and be like, "Hey, you're my guy."
Like that happened with Scottie Pippen. Like Jerry Krause thought that
people still do that, but it's just so much data now it doesn't work.
Yeah, people
do slander draft picks.
He thought he could keep Scottie Pippen hidden, but by the time the draft came around, they're like, "Yeah, no, everyone wants to draft that guy. You got to trade up for him."
That's a secret.
So, do you think everybody wants to sign Kyler Murray now?
I think
I've championed that for a long time.
I think he's a very interesting pick. I think he's a very interesting option in the QB market.
Breeze is giving me laughing emojis. I don't know if it's because I sent him a TikTok at 3 a.m. or he's actually listening to the show. He knows I'm certifiable.
Oh, what Dan said. You should have one pick you can force on each other since three probably.
We ought to get like three or
a couple
five of those.
Oh, where you can like Uno reverse the pick and I have to pick for you.
Yeah, you guys were quick to give me captain and game dog, and I took it.
I'm guessing Carol's going to be mine.
I like Carol.
No,
that you would pick for me.
No,
we like Carol.
But Carol doesn't like me apparently.
I know, but we want to saddle you with bad picks. That's the whole Uno reverso of it.
He says, "Lord help me." Lord help me.
That is a good idea, Amazing Daniel.
Yeah, I'd rock with that. I'm already gonna start taking notes.
So at some point we're gonna have to sit down, and this will be after.
As long as I don't talk about
this, will be after spring ball.
Fixing things around my house, food, storage. What else do people kill me over? Driving. I know what topics to stay away from.
It's mostly the food storage, if we're being honest.
Whatever, man.
You could probably, if you avoided bad food storage takes, you would solve like 90% of the issues, I think.
I don't think not wanting unopened boxes and having a vacuum sealer affinity is weird.
I don't think that's the main crux of the issue here.
What's racing cars? Where's Joe Good? I need some Joe Good this morning. Joe may be still mad at me from yesterday.
I would say Jose Bueno was a little combative with you yesterday.
No, it was quick. He just was like, play ball. But then that got me started on the whole.
Yeah, kind of lit the match a little bit there. Threw that into some kerosene.
You're so dramatic.
Guys, we are working on phone lines. It'll happen eventually.
Can you imagine when that's a thing?
It'll happen eventually. I don't have a time frame for you yet, but we will be getting the phones back. There's a whole thing about porting numbers and I don't know, stuff that I don't understand.
Tim, it probably didn't sound right. I get it. It didn't sound right.
I don't think Tim, quote, I don't think having a vacuum sealer affinity is weird. That's an interesting take.
Remember when I used to love Tim? That was fun.
I'm not going to read that, SkyMax. We will be right back. We'll talk to Tim Verghese from Inside Nebraska coming up next.
I mean, they were being a lot more aggressive. I think they were obviously trying to take Amaya away a lot more. She had a great first half, and I think made it harder for us to get it into her. But yeah, they were a lot more aggressive, not letting us get paint touches, forcing us to shoot threes, and we kind of settled for threes and maybe shots that weren't the best shots for our team.
I think it was paint touches. We gave up way too many in that second half, and they were getting easy shots at the rim, whether it be, kick out threes or dump offs to their big. So I think we just let them get downhill way too much, and it just made things a lot harder for us.
Yeah, and our transition defense was also struggling for a bit in the second half, and we just didn't get out to shooters when we needed to, and they got too many paint touches.
Yeah, it's been really good. Nebraska's my home, and there's so many people on this team that I have really good relationships with. So the transition's been really smooth, and I've been really enjoying being back for sure. Definitely like the recovery and facilities that we have, whether it be like the sauna, the red light, just being able to take advantage of that on a day-to-day basis and keep your body at a peak state has been huge and something I took for granted when I was first year. Yeah, like I brought up before, the familiarity is huge. This is a place that I wanted to be. I believe in Coach Rule and the staff. I believe in this university, and I think we can win a lot of games. And it was pretty easy choice for me for sure.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by NextGen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. Tim Verghese will be joining us here in just a minute for what is a big recruiting weekend. Very big recruiting weekend.
You got that right.
Got lots going on. We got the closer, Addison Williams. Maybe he'll
Closing
be involved.
time.
Big semisonic guy.
Yeah, there's a couple guys. Offensive line will steal the show this week, but quietly, it's not going to be too bad. Roy Manning's got a big weekend. Corey Brown's got a big weekend.
There is a lot of high profile targets.
Do you remember me talking to Tim? This is probably about 5-6 weeks ago about the different D linemen body types, and I brought up Fuller Run Show.
Yeah,
Fuller Run Show.
Yeah,
who's in town? It's a good weekend.
Right, exactly.
We were talking about that with Stoudemire, I think, off air.
Yeah,
because he's kind of a unique body type.
He's a squatty body.
Because like just right at 6 foot 6'1" and almost 300 pounds. Like he's different body type than a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
I don't know, like that. My initial gut is that's probably not the body type they're going to go after long term, but who knows?
What's interesting, when we were in Fairfield, one of the people asked Tyson Terry a question about differences, or they were something to do with the fronts, and he talked about just being real specific and his skill sets now.
Yeah,
like for the interior guys, they're just interior guys.
Yeah.
He's like, he liked the meeting time because it's much more the numbers fit.
Yeah.
Right. Because you don't have the edge guys in their room anymore. Let's get. That alone, you're going to get better.
You would think so, right? Not just having the numbers better, but also having a smaller purview of like what is your job.
Purview. I like that.
Let's get to Tim Verghese here from inside Nebraska. Tim, how are we doing this morning?
Hey, how we doing? Good morning, guys.
TV, man, you ready for this weekend?
Yeah, I think so. We'll see. It'll be a big one.
Hopefully Nebraska is ready for it, because a lot of good can come out of it. So, level of surprise, or just like, no, that's kind of what I thought. So when Coach Rule talks about, because we forget how quickly he had Coach Wade in the fold. I don't think that thing made it through the weekend of the Donnie announcement to talking about Jeep Wade. And Coach Rule talked a lot about the recruiting prowess. And I get it that you could maybe roll the eyes if you're a team development when people start immediately talking about recruiting. But how much of that has to pan out this weekend, or is this exactly what we're seeing, even just getting them on campus when Coach Rule was talking about Jeep Wade?
Yeah, I mean, part of this is just getting these guys on campus again and again. But I mean, I don't think they're far off from some good news. And I mean, if you want to point to, okay, what has been Jeep Wade's impact so far in his time at Nebraska? I think the one guy you can point to that's coming back to Nebraska this weekend and say, well, here's proof is Timmy Aliu, four-star offensive lineman out of Locust Grove in Georgia. Nebraska's battling SEC programs. I mean, Georgia's right in that mix. Florida's in there. Auburn's in there. He's got a few official visits he's looking forward to making this summer, but he was just on campus for junior day, and now a few short weeks later, he could be anywhere this weekend. Like the weekend he came and visited Nebraska for junior day, he was at Georgia Friday. He visited Nebraska on Saturday and was expected at Auburn on Sunday. It said he stuck around at Nebraska, made it back home, and didn't ever go to Auburn. And so you've got a bunch of these SEC programs and programs closer to home that would love to get this guy on campus. He's 6'4", he's versatile. He can play outside, he can play inside. Nebraska sees him as an inside guy, kind of like a true guard within their system. And so, this has just kind of been, he visited in the fall as well, and he loved his first visit, but Nebraska going from a contender to top contender is solely because Jeep Wade's impact, his relationship here, and just his effort so far and how he's made him feel wanted at Nebraska. And that's just one of the guys on campus. You've got Albert Simeon, 5-star interior offensive lineman, back on campus. That's another one who I texted with Simeon, right after Donovan Raiola got dismissed and Jeep Wade joined the staff, and I was like, hey, what's your thoughts on Nebraska right now amidst everything? Like, and he admitted, like just for a second there, they had slipped, and then I reached out a few weeks later just to see where communication had been. Communication had picked back up. He was loving what he was hearing from Jeep Wade. He met with Wade in January when Wade stopped through his high school to come visit him. He's a Louisiana kid. And, and now he's going to be back on campus. It's going to be his 4th visit. And so, you have ground to make up on Texas A&M. I think LSU is always going to be a contender to watch in that recruitment. And I think Notre Dame's a contender on the rise, but Nebraska keeps getting him to campus, keeps checking the boxes for him. And they're making him more and more comfortable with the idea of going further from home for football. So I think it starts with the offensive line when you talk about this visit weekend. And it really starts with, I think, those 2 guys. Plus, I would throw in Jordan Agbanoma, elite interior offensive lineman out of Loganville, Grayson, out of Georgia as well. It's going to be another visit for him. He's already got a return official visit locked in this summer. Nebraska is unofficially in that top 3 right there with Texas A&M and Georgia. They have an opportunity to kind of cement themselves as a top contender and maybe even move into pole position with a good visit weekend.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Grayson back on the map. Nebraska recruited that area, got a running back. Yeah, and they were doing okay in that back part of the woods, and now you get guys like Waylon Wooten too, where I actually think that's a guy that they could come out of this weekend having said yes. And again, you talk about body types, 6'1", 310, 315-ish. I'm going to ask again, Tim, now that we're 2 months into this and you did the deep dive since the first time that I asked about it, do you think you see any similarities in terms of types and how Nebraska wants to attack the D-line?
Yeah, absolutely. I think something that's interesting with like the Wooten profile, the Behrman profile, I think some of the guys they're recruiting that are on the north end of 300 already that you look at and are like, oh, this guy's probably a shade. But then you turn on the tape with all of these guys, with Behrman, with Wooten. I would say this with even like a Jasir Whittington, who's not obviously that, but you want him on the interior. But all of these guys, they play across the line, and they're all explosive. Like there's part of it, I think, is just from what we've been able to gather, I think wanting to play attack react up front, they have to be explosive off the line. Like no matter who you recruit, no matter what their size is, they have to get off the line first. And so all these guys, I mean, Wooten's a guy who at 6'1", 315, you turn on the tape, that guy's lined up in in the 7 technique, sometimes even the wide 9, like he's all over the line. And so he's more agile than I think people give him credit for. Or than you expect based on his frame. And he's a little more explosive as well. He can move all over the line. That said, I think at the next level, he does best fit in probably at shade, can work in at 3 tech. I think that's what I'm starting to see in terms of true interior recruiting. You have your like true 3 techs, guys that they think can either grow into 3 techs or kind of just stick there. And then you have a handful. It's much smaller, I think, the pool of guys that they're recruiting that can work in at shade. And I think the 3 tech body types, they're all kind of these like 6'2" to 6'4", with some length to the arm, but they're nimble, they're athletic. They can get off blocks. Varying levels of I think ability to stuff the run, and I think you can kind of build out a board in terms of how Nebraska wants to land these, or how much Nebraska prioritizes the guys based on how good they are in that regard. And then you have some of these versatile body types that I don't really know where they fit in, and I'm going to be curious to see once they get to campus and visit and leave campus where Nebraska sees him. I think about someone like Zamar Tooks, who I think is a true edge at 6'4", 235 pounds. He's on campus for the first time. More than likely a strong side defensive end within the scheme as he continues to grow. But I'm going to be curious to catch up with him after this weekend to see what he talked about with Roy Manning and maybe even Corey Brown in terms of where he best fits in the system.
So, Tim, I'm glad you brought up edges because that was the place that I wanted to go to next. You mentioned Tooks. Out of that group, is he the one that intrigues you the most? It's not necessarily as literal star-studded as the offensive line group, but what do you like about the group that's coming in on the edges?
Yeah, you can tell Roy Manning evals and kind of has an idea of what he's looking for when you look at this group. I mean, okay, like Prince Goldsby's like everyone in the region wants him. I mean, what he did at Blue Spring South last year. Yeah, the huddle tape is good. The game tape, in my opinion, is one of those things where it's like, man, every drive it feels like Prince Goldsby's making an impact. Like you hear and feel Prince Goldsby's impact every single defensive drive. And you look at the production, and it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense when you look at the numbers he put up. As Nebraska's going to get their first shot this weekend, I think they're going to have an opportunity here to again firmly establish themselves as a top contender. Tooks intrigues me as a Northeast guy. Again, as this kind of I think strong side defensive end, but can work in a weak side as well. I think the name that most intrigues me though of the edges in town is well, shoot, why am I blanking on it? Jeremiah Figaro, who's on campus. He's on campus today. He texted me last night saying he was on his way this morning up to Lincoln.
Were you surprised to see Massachusetts on the map?
Yeah, a little bit. And I think he's a New Hampshire kid originally who is now playing at Malden Catholic out of Massachusetts. A guy who you turn on the tape and, we just heard Roy Manning talk about, he was like, they need to be at least this height. They need to be at least this weight. You look at Jeremiah Figaro, he's 205. That doesn't meet the threshold. But then you go and turn on the high school tape. He also plays basketball. He also plays receiver, and he's more of like a outside linebacker in high school, but you can see some upside as a pass rusher. You can see what this can look like as he continues to add some mass to his frame. Nebraska really one of these Power 4 programs on the forefront of his mind since offering, and they'll get their first shot this weekend. He just intrigues me as an athlete. I think Nebraska has a varying level of guys. Like, I think Prince Goldsby, for example, guy knows how to get after the quarterback, but like in terms of bend and like getting like he's not super bendy. You know what I mean? He's not gonna be the guy that's turning the corner. Like he's a speed rusher. That is his game. But he's got some other traits that make him intriguing. I think the guys that Nebraska loves with bend that are kind of underranked are the guys that I'm really intrigued by, because that's where you see Roy Manning's kind of eval ability on display. I think the same on the D-line. Like, we've talked about a bunch of these different guys. I think Nebraska going in and offering David Hill out of Homer Flossmoor. I'm like, okay, well, that's an impressive eval there by this defensive staff, Corey Brown and whoever else is working with there on the defense. Like that's an impressive eval. Some of that stuff. Moa Brown, I think, is a guy who we might be talking about a little bit heading into the summer. A two-sport athlete, 6'7", 245 pounds out of Utah. That was another one who Roy Manning identified at San Diego State and was early to offer at Nebraska as well. For me, at least at this point in the cycle, obviously we'll get to a point where they'll have to win some recruitments. But at this point, I'm more intrigued by what these guys are looking for than I am by the stars they're chasing.
Hey, TV, I want to fast forward a little bit to this last week's talking about this last week of podium visits from the coaches. And there's some weird things that I felt like, this is just me thinking out loud, so you can help me either way, agree, disagree. But we went from Coach Holgorsen early on before spring started and talking about the running back room. And, if you lose one, if you get one, you got to lose one. And you know how it was kind of met on your message boards and things like that from his delivery. Then we listened to Coach Barthel day before yesterday talk about the evolution of the backs, and kind of the proof is in the pudding from a development standpoint. And I think this year is interesting because I think from a media standpoint, even to a little contrary to Coach Holgorsen's point, it seems like the football guys are more apt to be okay with what's going on in the running back room this year. Is that kind of your sentiment, or do you feel like there's still general concerns? And if we've turned the corner on that, why do you think that is?
Interesting. I still think there's a general sense of concern, just in the sense that I think they need these guys to perform to what they've it's a thing of, you see a guy do it on tape and you're like, okay, well, if he's done it before, I think he could do it again. I'd like to see him do it again. Like, and we're banking on that. And you hope, and Nebraska's hope at least is like, well, they see these guys do these things in practice. It's like, but it has to come together on the field. And there's no real guarantee that it does. Now they have options. And I think I would say for maybe some of the doubters and maybe some of the people that do have concerns, I think the early growth and play of like a Jamal Rule probably encourages some people of like, okay, well, there's another option we have as like, okay, well, we need one of these guys to break out. We know we have 3. Okay, here's a 4th we can throw in there. So I think there's a little more comfort now that Rule is on campus and working the way he is. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we fully turned this corner yet. I don't know if we will until people see this on display, like in a game. Like, I mean, would it take a really strong spring game from these guys for like people to be fully kind of turned the corner? Because I don't think we fully turned the corner just yet. I think we're starting to get there, but I don't think we fully turned the corner in terms of like trusting this staff. Like, and maybe we get there just off the as a program, as a fan base, as everything. It's like hey, look, we kind of trusted EJ Bartel to develop Emmett Johnson, and we did have these concerns last year, and then Emmett played the way he did. Maybe we just trust him again, and with a little more sight unseen, we have to kind of trust him again. Maybe we just get there off of that alone. But yeah, I still think we're in the process of turning the corner. I don't think the corner's been turned just yet. Where do you think we're at?
So when I'm kind of processing it out loud, I've been getting murdered for actually thinking out loud this morning, TV. So I'm very cautious to share my thoughts about anything, but this could be a deal where it's just like the last handful of people we've had on the show have outwardly said, I'm not one of those people that's worried about the running back room. So maybe it's recency bias for me, and it's a small sample size, but it does seem like we're not as, and maybe it was Coach Holgerson's answer because he was very definitive about why they did what they did. So maybe that put it to rest. But what I'm still not hearing is even for EJ to Coach Barthel to go into as much info as he did on each guy and position specific drills and having a template and having guys in the room multiple years really helps with their development. Like that sounds like if he was just going to lay some plans on a construction table for me of what he was building, I probably would rock with that as an investor, right? But it still seems like it's not good enough. So maybe your explanation is probably closer to the real sentiment.
And I wonder how much some of it is like look, Emmett Johnson, is like we would like him to have this or like him to have this, but he was very well rounded. We could lean on him for this. I wonder if part of it is like they have guys that are good at different things, but they don't necessarily like who's the most well-rounded of the room? Is it probably Rule? And he's the young pup. Like he's the guy that, like I don't think they're going to trust him, especially early on in the season until he earns it. Like I wonder if the desire to have more in the room is just not having a true Mackay, I think, is pretty well-rounded. But I think the most I think the thing is just like you want someone that it's like, okay, we don't have to take this guy off the field, make this personnel decision for the specific snap because this guy can't do this guy can't, or whatever that is. I wonder if it's a little bit of that, or I wonder if it's just okay, hey, like again, we've seen these flashes. We like what we saw from these guys in December. We like what we've seen so far in spring, but we need to see this more consistently. Like, and I wonder from a standard standpoint if maybe Emmett Johnson and the way Emmett Johnson practiced over the last year changed the standard in terms of what they're looking for at the position moving forward at the running back. Like, it's probably fair to say there's no one in that room that's practicing on Emmett Johnson's level the way Emmett Johnson was probably practicing this time last year, right?
That's a tough question because I did say, listen, even on days that EJ could take off, he didn't. But to the room's credit, they didn't concede quality reps either, even though he was the bell cow. So
yeah, that makes sense.
So like, just my personal experience tells me that works, because even if a guy is a clear-cut starter, I'll just give you a made-up hypothetical. Even if it's Lawrence Phillips, right?
Very made-up hypothetical.
We still practice a certain way without conceding that he's clearly the best of the bunch, right? Everybody's game elevated. So even though that guy was kind of the bell cow, when guys got their opportunities, they were ready. So that's why I'm very, very protective or defensive of you don't know until you know if running backs can play or not. You just have to trust what your eyes have told you about development at the position. And for me, TV, I saw Dowdell 3 springs ago, and I was like, this guy can't run.
So
I watched Dowdell during the season, and I'm like, this guy put himself in position to go get NIL dollars from another school. I watched what happened with Anthony Grant become a better runner. I watched Ramir Johnson. We left Ramir Johnson for dead 3 Marylands ago. He was too small. He couldn't do this. He was a kind of a one-trick pony. He kind of laid in the cut for a while. We watched him 2 years or a year and a half ago in the Pinstripe Bowl, and we're like, that guy's pretty good. We were super skeptical of Emmett Johnson in the running back room last spring when we were clamoring for all these other guys to come out of the portal. Emmett turns out to be pretty good. I watched Mosey only play running back for 6 months. I like the direction they're moving. Like, the evidence tells me that guys get better. So I don't know what's so hard to just say that out loud, because if I told you to stop me when I tell a lie, I don't think you could have stopped me during that last minutes, right? So like, I don't know why it's so hard for us to accept that the development has been at a pretty good clip. I mean, do you remember watching Dowdell? I was like, this ain't it.
So
how about Ives?
Yeah.
Right? Like, Ives is clearly better than when you saw him a year ago.
So I'm glad you brought up Dowdell, because I thought Tim's point was really interesting about kind of we're hoping based on what we have seen in practice and what they've done so far, and you're hoping it translates, right? But I think when we're talking about the overall perception of the room, we do have to bring up a guy like Dante Dowdell, because if you remember, and I think you got a pretty good recall, Tim, like the excitement around Dowdell when he committed to Nebraska was pretty high. 4-star coming out of Oregon. People kind of assumed he was just going to be the guy, right? Like, is that a fair, like that? I'm not making
and to be fair, like I was pretty excited about him coming out of high school. Like that was a guy, like the frame and just what he was able to do, but like, and it was kind of just one of those things where, like, now in retrospect, it's one of those things where, hey, he was just kind of that big in high school and kind of run around guys or through guys, and like, you got to learn vision, you got to develop these things at the next level.
So I have no problem with you being excited about him coming out of high school. Because my point is, what he did at Oregon was 17 carries for 90 yards and 1 touchdown.
Yes.
But the way we felt about him,
I get it,
versus the way we feel about Makai Nelson, who went for 27 carries, 147 and 2 touchdowns, like, are very, very different, right? We assumed Dowdell was going to be that guy, and we assumed that Makai Nelson needed help from the portal, right? So a lot of it is just, we feel like we know too much about Makai Nelson when we know basically nothing. And because Dowdell or somebody else came from, like, this isn't even a Marty Brown situation where you can point to him and be like, yeah, he ran for over 1,000 yards at FCS. Like, he's got proven production. Let's go get that guy. This guy ran for literally 90 yards over the course of an entire season at Oregon, and we were cool with that being the addition. But when you've got better production than that returning, albeit marginally, all of a sudden we're like, we need help from the portal. So I do think that dynamic is worth bringing up in the running back room.
Yeah, I think so. And as we're talking this out, I do wonder a little bit if the general of, like, the vibe of, like, hey, you know, we have a lot, but we still kind of feel like we don't have enough. I wonder if part of that is and like thinking back on what EJ said as well, of like, I wonder if part of that just making sure these guys stay competitive and stay, within themselves and like, hey, like, yeah, we didn't add anybody, but we still could this summer. Like, keep competing,
Mhm.
don't let up. I wonder how much of it is not necessarily like that sense of like, yeah, we're good enough at running back, or we have the guys we like, or just this feeling that they still need more. I wonder if some of that is not necessarily meant to be communicated to the media, but more so to like, hey, we're communicating this to the room. Like, you guys need to keep showing us that you're good enough.
Yeah, fair point. Tim, you mentioned early on, and very early in the segment here, that you thought that good news might not be far off from Nebraska on some of these guys. Just want to make sure I'm not putting words in your mouth. Does that mean you think there could be some commitments coming out of this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know if it'll happen this weekend, but I think they're trending in a good direction coming out of this weekend, or they're trending in a good direction heading into the weekend and coming out of it, whether it's directly out of the weekend or shortly after. Again, Timmy Ali was a guy I would keep an eye on.
Yeah, I
He has
agree.
some official visits. Yeah, he's got some official visits lined up later this offseason, but it really wouldn't surprise me if he cancels those and just goes ahead and commits early. Or commits early regardless. I just kind of think he's pretty comfortable at Nebraska. Visit number 3 usually is the charm for some of these guys, and this will be visit number 3 for him. Albert Simeon, not anytime soon. I mean, I don't think. I think if you were to make an early decision, I still think Nebraska is not the decision, but they have an opportunity to maybe make up some of that ground and position themselves for a return OV. Really, the guys I would look at in terms of a like commitment this weekend. Caden Howard, receiver out of Miami Palmetto. I put in a prediction last week for him, or 2 weeks ago at this point for him. A former, again, close with Ja'Cory Barney, who also played at Miami Palmetto, close with Cortez Mills. He's been following the program for a while now, paying even more attention since Ja'Cory got here. He's heard a lot about the program from both of those guys and really likes what he's heard so far. He only has one official visit locked up into next year. And at this point, I just think I think it's it's Nebraska or bust, but like the next team has so much ground to make up that Nebraska could just go ahead and get this done this weekend with this first visit. So that's a guy I'm going to have a very close eye on this weekend. And then a sleeper, I think, for me in terms of potential commitments this weekend, I would just keep an eye on Kobe Rhymes, linebacker out of North Kansas City. I love Kobe Rhymes. I think he's a green dot candidate down the line. 6'1", 225-pound linebacker. Also competes in volleyball. Also competes in wrestling. Just a competitor. He plays running back at his high school as well at a very high level. A really, really fun athlete, wired the right way at the linebacker position. And has picked up some big national offers, but has played his recruitment very quietly. He's primarily only visited regional schools. He's been to Nebraska, he's been to Kansas and Kansas State, Missouri, Iowa, so on and so forth, but has offers from Oregon and Alabama. Georgia recently offered. Penn State's in the mix. Cal recently offered. Like, there's a bunch of national programs. I know he's been wanting to explore, but I wonder a little bit. This is going to be his 4th trip to Nebraska. He's visited Nebraska more than any other program to this point. I wonder a little bit with how he's playing out this recruitment, knowing what I know about him in terms of personality-wise. I don't get the sense he wants to play this thing out. While more than likely, I think he'll choose to spend the next few weeks on the road, seeing some of these schools he hasn't got a chance to just yet. I think it's really interesting. The first stop for him coming out of the dead period is back in Nebraska, and Nebraska could just go ahead and lock in a guy I think is a future captain of a defense this weekend.
All right, let's play the long game. Foster or Chambliss or both? Long term.
Long term.
Like which one between the two?
Yeah, I'm partial to I'm partial to Foster long term.
Okay. Mubanga, Babalade. I won't count Black because he's a little older.
Mm-hmm. Babalade, just those two?
Yep.
Give me Babalade. I think that one's close though. I think that one's close.
When you're talking about on the defensive side of the ball, is there a guy you think that Nebraska got out of the portal that we're not valuing enough?
Maybe I think Vic probably goes under discussed just in terms of like I think he's going to have a role. They added him for a reason. Like this is an upperclassman defensive back with starting experience. And they went out and pursued him for a reason. I think he's probably one where, we talk a lot about McDougal and what he's going to be. We talk a lot about maybe Shiggs and the production he had. I think Vic goes a little under discussed, but I think he's going to play a pretty significant role in the secondary. Do y'all think the noise around Studmeier's been kind of quiet this spring?
I haven't watched him enough. I do think he's the one guy that doesn't look like the others, right? From a body type standpoint. But I don't know if you heard me. I said something earlier. This is on the heels of Corey Brown talking about or Riley Van Poppel talking about the meeting rooms being smaller and more finite with attention to detail without the edges in the room. Somebody asked Tyson Terry at this event we had this weekend about one of the differences with the new staff, and he said just the micro teaching, right, of just interior linemen without the edges. And so when it comes to a guy like Stoudemire, and if we stick with that theme, he clearly has a thing he looks like he can do, right, from that body type standpoint. You could put him in a shade or a one, and I think he's going to occupy. He's got really good pad level. I haven't watched close enough to talk about, like knockback and hand, like, heavy hands, but he's a pretty good athlete for that type of frame. I think he's a good worker.
Yeah. And again, that's where it's like, it's a little similar to, it's not one for one at all, but you can see some similarities to varying levels in terms of the traits, in terms of like Berriman, Studemeier, and I think this Wooten here in this 27 class, the 6'1", 315 pounder thereafter. I don't necessarily, I think of the three, like I think genuinely like Studemeier is probably the least athletic, and I think that's a good thing for Nebraska in terms of what they're doing moving forward and how they want to build this thing out. But yeah, I just think the noise around him has been a little quiet. So I'm going to be curious to see kind of where what the staff thinks about him, because, at least on paper, I think he's a guy they'll need a lot of snaps from here in the fall.
A guy that's interesting, I think, is kind of flying under the radar too, is Anthony Jones. I think we're a little dismissive of the multiple schools in multiple years, but at least on the hoof early, he looks like a guy that I'm going to have to probably pay more attention to.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to be excited to see him in some live reps, whether we get that in practice or we have to wait till the spring game. I want to see him in some live reps, see where he's at in terms of finishing and getting around the edge. Do you guys think? I don't think he's going to play a role necessarily this year, but I listened to the staff talk about what they're looking for at the second level. I listened to, and I think back about what I thought about this kid and coming out of high school and them going out and pursuing him. I don't think his upside is like, I don't think he's got a similar upside to like Foster, or even Chambliss, but like, I think Will Hawthorne's going to have a pretty productive career here in Nebraska. Like, I think he's going to be a guy who finds a role for himself. And I wonder about him a little bit this year in that third linebacker role. I think it's going to be Jenna Tone is what it sounds like. He's been a guy that's been working in there, but when they're in base and they need a third linebacker out there, like I do wonder a little bit about someone like Hawthorne, who I think is athletic enough to carry in coverage while also having the physicality to play in the box.
Yeah, if it were me, like Hawthorne's in this discussion, I think Luke Sorensen's in this discussion. I think Puma's in this discussion. I would sit those guys down as their position coaches and say, hey, look, just be patient with me here, right? There's a lot coming at you early, and you may not get the attention and the touches. you need, like, from me as a position coach, but I see something in you guys, so just hang in there. You know what I mean? Because I think, and I say that to say not that they're on the fringe of doing anything. I say that to, those are the kinds of young, good players you need to invest in that may not pop right away, that need a little, they just need a little extra love to kind of
just get them through.
Get them through to the next phase. You know what I mean? Like, there's just, they got a lot of those. Even Odom kind of is not as far along as I thought his tape was, but he's going against legit bodies. Like, this ain't.
The jump up from.
I mean, you got to see Hunter, you got to see Gilmer, you got to see Quinn, you got to see Jacory. Like, those guys are good, man.
And I think what especially will challenge the DB room is it's not like there's not like a skill set across the room. Like, you have to defend each guy differently,
right?
And it'll make these guys better.
You got the strong guys, you got the head tappers.
Yeah.
Like, they got a nice little assortment. And Shorts and hits, like, that group, their position, their individual work is not fun's not the word. It's intriguing to watch. Like, they work.
Yeah, it's really detailed. It's really I mean, it's night and day from what they started on to what it is, like, what that room is working with now in terms of the fine tuning, the details. Yeah, I mean, it's just. I saw Danny in January against, again, the All-American. It's like, these are like, it's Chris Henry Jr. and some of these top freshman receivers. And like, it's a steady jump from these freshmen that, I mean, even like a Chris Henry Jr., like, that are still learning how to beat press and learn how to do these things where, like, Danny can kind of overwhelm him with length, but like, you're not going to do that to Quasi Gilmer. You're not going to do that to Isaiah Hunter.
It's a good group.
Yeah,
that's a good group.
I want to ask you about the last one for me here, Tim. I want to ask you about the wide receivers real quick. You brought up Howard, the connection with Mills and Barney, and it seems like obviously Mills didn't do a ton last year. I think we expected more out of Barney than we got. Like,
his body looks good though, Tim. You'll be impressed.
He does.
His body looks good, man.
Is there a point for you when looking at some of these prospects? I mean, I think there was a high school kid in this class in 26 as well. I can't remember which one that sort of fits. I think it's Larry, kind of fits the same
Larry Miles,
profile as well. Like, is there a point for you where it's like, hey, if they're gonna keep recruiting a lot of these guys, which I know there's a variety of skill sets in that room, but it seems like this is the type of guy they like a lot, that they're going to need to see more production. How much of that do you put on the guys versus what the quarterback situation's been like? Where are you with that type of body and skill set at receiver at Nebraska when maybe it hasn't been quite as productive as we'd hoped so far?
Yeah, so I think I put Jacory, Larry, and Caden in a different pool than Cortez. Okay. I think Cortez is he's smaller like those guys and can play out of the slot, but I think Cortez is the guy who's more of a route runner and a ball, like a 50-50 ball winner. Whereas, all these other guys, they're quick. It's more of what they can do after the catch and with the ball in their hands. But I do think of those three and those I mean, Jacory came to Nebraska and needed some polishing, but you could see what you could see like, okay, here's what he can do with the ball in his hands. This guy is just kind of electric. You need to get the ball in his hands. You look at Larry, I think it's the same, like more so. Larry's a lot more polished than I think even Jacory was coming out of high. Like, that's a guy that just knows how to get open and do some of those things. So part of it is the guys throwing them the football, but when you recruit, like, everyone's looking for these type of guys. Like, everyone's going to have these type of guys, specifically the South Florida guys and Nebraska recruiting this body type. It's not necessarily on the coaching staff, because a lot of these guys do come to college with a lot of the traits that they need to win at this level already in them. Like, they need to win out of the slot. They need to get open. They need to run routes. And so, like, for Jacory, it was for him, it's still an ongoing process of developing that route tree. It's not necessarily the case with a Larry Miles. It's going to be the case with a Caden Howard probably. But they all have different things they're working on. But ultimately, it's a thing of, like, the general skill set you're looking for there should already be so developed to a point that, like, you're always going to be looking for these kind of guys. These are just the kind of guys that, one, I think Dikeel Shorts has had success with, but two, this is what they want out of the slot room. And like, okay, yeah, Ja'Cory may not have had the success. Not to say he still can't. And I would also say, like, I think Larry Miles is going to, like, if that narrative is out there on some of these self-orders, I think Larry Miles is capable of, like, shifting that narrative, because he's a guy I think as a freshman is going to play a role, because I think they might have like, he's a guy who can get open. He's a guy who can play outside his frame. He can win at all three levels. He's a really good route runner, and he's a worker. That just kind of is what, and like he's balanced. He can do some stuff after the catch. He can provide some value in the run game. I hope that kind of makes sense, just in the sense of like they're varied skill sets, kind of, but they're always going to be recruiting this. And the thing with these type of skill sets is, with the 7-on-7 and with some of this stuff, Nebraska kind of is getting these slot receivers developed to a certain point. From there, you have to keep developing them, but there's already so much done that you can't necessarily blame. I would say you can't necessarily blame the coaching staff, but like, I don't think there's any, like, we need to see this before we continue investing in this. Like, I think part of it is just they kind of come with this built in them. Like, Larry Miles came to campus with the ability to create separation at all three levels. You know, that wasn't something that Dikeel Shorts had to teach them.
Gotcha. Tim, great stuff as always. We appreciate the time, and hopefully you're very, very busy this weekend. We'll cross our fingers.
See you guys next week.
Thanks, TV.
That's Tim Verghese from Inside Nebraska. Good stuff there from Tim. As always, let's take a quick break here. We will return with more Hurrdat Sports Live right after this.
Yeah, shoot, I think the biggest thing is just learning your teammates' names, right? Like, you come into a locker room, you got to learn 120 guys, like, new names and like different relationships with different guys, and just build a relationship with the offensive line, receivers, running backs, and defense as well. And I feel like I've done a great job doing that. No, I think, like, getting outside, going to dinner with guys, hanging out at their house, my house, whatever it is, and I feel like we've done that, like hanging out at the offensive line, them coming to my house, me going to their house and stuff. So we've done some cool things. Yeah, I love it, honestly, just because, like, we got into it so fast where I could build chemistry with the receivers early, and it's not like a later deal thing, to where like, shoot, we're already in install 4 with our offense, and we're damn near almost done. So it's big time for us, just getting a head start on everything.
Just being less mechanical. I mean, I feel like one of the things that I'm good at is making plays off schedule. So if I need to make a play off schedule, make it off schedule instead of being mechanical and just sitting in the pocket. Man, it's been fun. I mean, I wouldn't want any other way. I mean, we got good quarterbacks. We got Ant, brings a lot of juice to the room. So We got Danny. He brings juice to the room too. But a big thing that I like is iron sharpens iron. So every time we go out on that field, we're making each other better. We're improving each other's game. Like I'm doing stuff I haven't did since I got here, just because of the other quarterbacks that's in the room.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. DB, I'm going to give you an option, all right? You ready?
Sure.
And not just because of the offense you played in college.
No problem.
No triple, just a double option on this one.
Yep.
Would you like to talk about NFL free agency, or would you like to finally blind rank my current Big Ten basketball players?
I think we can probably do both.
Okay. Which one would you like to start with?
Let's start with Stevie Wonder.
Blind?
Yes.
All right. Allegedly.
Wow.
Here we go. I'm just saying sometimes it really seems like he can see stuff.
You should just fake scare the guy and see if he jumps.
He's like caught stuff before. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if we're doing like a Matt Murdock thing.
How about
or,
Ray Charles?
Ray Charles, I buy.
Okay.
Yeah, Ray Charles, I buy. Stevie Wonder, I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, we're going to blind rank these Big Ten basketball players.
Okay.
These are all, so I'm going to give you a little hint. These are all good players. Like, I'm not going to throw like Kendall Blue at you and be like, well, this guy plays like 4 minutes a game. He's played in 8 games this year, whatever, right? So there's none of those. These are all good players.
5
good players.
Okay.
I want you to blind rank them. First one we're going to start off with is Nick Boyd.
Ooh, really good player.
Who you have an affinity for.
Flies under the radar. Good shooter. Takes care of the basketball.
By far his most productive year in college.
I'm going to play it safe and put my friend Nick Boyd at numero tres.
All right. Nick Boyd averaging 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists a game on 48, 35, 81 shooting.
Yeah, that dog will hunt. And what's he turning over, like once a game? A little less than one a game?
Turnovers are, let's see here.
Hey!
Yeah, a little less than 2, 1-7.
Ooh, a little higher than I thought.
Yeah.
2-1 I'll take, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
2-1 works. All right. So
I'll go with Nick at 3.
Nick Boyd of Wisconsin is your number 3. Let's stay with we're gonna stay with guards here.
Guards.
Guard. Different kind of guard. Jeremy Fears.
Oh man.
About 13.5 a game.
Tough.
7.5 assists, though.
Yeah.
I'll bring up his shooting stats for you.
Oh boy. Boy.
I thought this one would be one that gives you a lot of trouble. Excuse me, 15 points. I was thinking of 15 points a game, 9 assists, 45% from the field, 30% from 3, 89% from the field, from free throw line. And he's given it up 2.2 a game. So that's like
that's outstanding.
4.5 to 1, 4 to 1. Like that's incredible.
Especially as much as he handles it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I hate to put him in the 2 slot. But would I take Fears over Boyd?
That's the question. And really the only knock on him is the 3-point shooting.
Man, I got to put Fears at 2.
Okay. Fears at number 2.
It might come back to haunt me, but I would probably take him over Boyd if I was starting tomorrow.
All right. Little bit different type of player on this one. Okay. Our very own Price Sanford.
Oh, fudge. 4.
Okay. Price Sanford is 4.
Man, I saw 2 lists yesterday that didn't have him first team all Big Ten. They had him second team, but they had 4 guards. Like, stop. You can't put Thornton all Big Ten over Price Sanford.
Agreed. Thornton's not on this list. Spoiler.
You just can't.
Mm-hmm.
And I see 4 little guards, and I'm like, whose list is this? Anyway,
not everybody makes good lists.
I don't love Price at 4 because I think he and Boyd are very interchangeable. But from where I had to slot it for this drill, I'm putting Price Sanford safely at 4.
All right. Bennett Sturts.
Oh.
You're not going to like this. You've got 1 and 5 left.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I'm pissed.
I'm, for the people, I'm letting them know.
I knew the first 2 were too easy.
Bennett,
I was like, oh, I like what I'm doing. This is how I would draft these guys. And then the other day I was like, oh, this works. This is this is not going to work.
Bennett Sturts 20.5. He's at 4.5, 5 assists a game. He's at a couple rebounds a game. He is shooting the ball 50, 39, and 85.
Man.
Very, very good basketball player, that Bennett Sturts.
I'd take him ahead of Fears, so I gotta put old Benny at 1. Poop. I'm locked in.
I think I did you a favor there, I think, by giving you him over because the order in which I gave you the guys matters, right? Last one is Donovan Dent.
Oh yeah, I did it right.
Yeah. I almost gave you Donovan Dent first, but I felt like
he still was going last.
Would have been a little mean.
He still was going last.
So you got
I don't mind this.
Sturts,
Yep.
Fears,
Yep.
Boyd,
Yep.
Sanford,
Yep.
Dent.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
That's probably right. If you went into it knowing,
I feel like these should be harder because I got my draft order right too. Although Jacob, he wouldn't let me bask in any glory. He was like, "Well, you had the stats, and that's kind of what you wanted. Defeated the purpose." And I was like, "Dang, Jacob, can I just have had the guys in the right order?"
this was harder. I thought this was harder than the draft order.
It is, but I like what I did.
I think you ended up in a good spot
Sturts,
there.
Fears, Boyd, Price, Dent.
That's how you would do it if you knew who the list was going in?
I may swap Price and Boyd.
Outside of that, though, you feel pretty good?
I feel pretty good, though.
I think you did well.
And you don't even like Fears.
No, I don't, but I don't like stylistically.
You don't like the trips and pushes, guys? How about that 2-week stretch you had to snap out of it, and now we don't even talk about it anymore?
That, but also just
He
stylistic.
did the nut punch thing, too, right?
Yeah, I'm not. You nut punch a guy, I'm out. Never been a Chris Paul guy.
Mom, get my nuts.
Julius Hodge, I got your back. 20 years later, I got you.
What a pull.
NC State, baby.
What in the world do you know about Julius Hodge?
I know he got punched in the nuts by Chris Paul.
God, you say it so dirty.
Got him!
I wonder if that makes Bill cringe. Do you think Bill goes back to listen? He's like, these guys are a couple of idiots. Why are they talking about vacuum sealing?
Probably. I mean, vacuum sealing's not even the worst conversation we've had.
And you guys dragged it out. I was ready to move on.
Where's the foul?
Is there anybody in that neighborhood of player that you would have included on the
Where's
list
the foul?
to rank?
Was that me?
Yeah, that was the one.
Where's the foul?
That was the one yesterday that you were proud of. That you were like, "Hey, I think I did that one pretty
I think
good."
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
You told me to cut it.
I was kidding. I tell you to do a lot of things you don't
Where's
do.
the foul?
Yeah, he does. He just does the things.
Yeah, why don't you do the good stuff I tell you to do?
It's random.
He just flips a coin, see when he's going to listen to you or not.
Where's the foul?
I think you could do an insert there, and I could pass.
Is there a player that you would have included?
I think Thornton's got to probably be somewhere. He's playing at a really high level.
Okay,
but all things being equal, Nebraska's better than Ohio State, and price means more to Nebraska.
Agreed.
So
I'm not doing this for like a first team all Big Ten.
I know,
just in
but
terms of guys you
I
wanna
would
do.
probably have added Thornton if we're just talking Big Ten gods.
Who would you have taken out?
Probably Donovan Dent.
Okay. The reason I included Dent is because we were just talking about him the other day.
And you know, Dent's capable.
Yeah. And I think he's having a better year than people think.
Yeah. But I mean,
I don't think he's having the year people thought he was going to have.
Shane, Juan would like a KP soundbite. We have several.
Yeah, we have a bunch of them.
We have lots of Kent.
We have my favorite one, the Godfather.
Where's the foul?
Dead horse head scene.
I'm not gonna make it. It's good. He rings the bell. Bang-a-rango.
That's not it. You know which one it is.
Unbelievable.
That's the actual movie.
All right, now play Kent.
Puts it up. God! 2 seconds to go. Inbounds play. I'm going to pass out.
I'm just saying, if the sound quality wasn't different, you know how hard it would be to tell the difference?
Oh, I know.
Like, it's uncanny how similar they are.
Yeah, he pulled one from 1976.
74?
I made the year up. I just said it was in the
72.
72. We were both wrong.
Hey,
The second one was 74.
How do you decide whether you're going to actually do what I ask you to do or not?
Just depends upon if I'm listening.
All right.
Carol?
Noted. I'm going to have to preface everything with, are you listening?
Carol says some high school students calling state tournament games are trying to impersonate KP on the air yesterday.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Ring-a-ring! Ring-a-ring-a-ring-a-ring-a-ring-a! Got it! Coming up next, we're going to talk to Mike Sautter. Speaking of state basketball from Hurrdat Sports and NebPreps. We will be right back. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
And there's the ball game.
I mean, they were being a lot more aggressive. I think they were obviously trying to take Amaya away a lot more. She had a great first half, and I think made it harder for us to get it into her. But yeah, they were a lot more aggressive, not letting us get paint touches, forcing us to shoot threes, and we kind of settled for threes and maybe shots that weren't the best shots for our team.
I think it was paint touches. We gave up way too many in that second half, and they were getting easy shots at the rim, whether it be, kick out threes or dump offs to their big. So I think we just let them get downhill way too much, and it just made things a lot harder for us.
Yeah, and our transition defense was also struggling for a bit in the second half, and we just didn't get out to shooters when we needed to, and they got too many paint touches.
Yeah, it's been really good. Nebraska's my home, and there's so many people on this team that I have really good relationships with. So the transition's been really smooth, and I've been really enjoying being back for sure. Definitely like the recovery and facilities that we have, whether it be like the sauna, the red light, just being able to take advantage of that on a day-to-day basis, and keep your body at a peak state has been huge and something I took for granted when I was first here. Yeah, like I brought up before, the familiarity is huge. This is a place that I wanted to be. I believe in Coach Rule and the staff. I believe in this university, and I think we can win a lot of games. And it was a pretty easy choice for me for sure.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Mike Sautter.
Yeah.
Mike Sautter.
Oh, man, you're going to put me on the spot.
Mike Sautter.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by NextGen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Mike Sautter from Hurrdat Sports and NebPreps. Mike, what's going on, man? How we doing?
No, should I be standing up or sitting down?
I said Jerome's in the house. Jerome's in the house. Did you ever used to watch Martin, or was that too ethnic for you when you were little?
Really?
I forgot. I have seen your playlist, and everything is from the 90s. So I the answer to that is probably yes.
Come on, man.
Were you a big Jerome fan?
Not really, no.
Who was your favorite character? Bruh Man?
Probably Bro Man, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, give me some of those sandwiches. Underrated sitcom character was Brother Man.
What's that?
Yeah. So, give me a sandwich.
Where are you? You sound like you're in a janitorial closet.
Oh, I'm in the back room at PBA here.
That doesn't look like the press room.
No, because too many people talking in there. I'm in the, where they do the pregame meal and stuff for all the.
Oh yeah, yep.
All the booster room thing.
Yep,
that's where I'm at.
The important people's room. You got good furniture in there.
Yeah, it's well, there's tables. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's those chairs. Yeah, are you feeling pretty comfy? It's a lot better than being at like Denny's, because that's what those booths remind me of.
I don't go to Denny's.
Oh, don't sleep now, you snobby snob. You still eat turkey sandwiches and Lay's chips. Let's not act like you're 5-star Michelin taste buds over there.
Let me tell you something. It's been a minute since I made a turkey sandwich from home and had my baked Lay's barbecue chips, which is the best chip in the world.
That is so unequivocally false, but
baked Lay's barbecue, the best, no question.
You were wrong as soon as you said baked.
For one.
The minute you said baked, wrong. Not the best chip in the world. Immediately.
That's my favorite. So I actually made that for lunch on Monday, Tuesday, one of those days, and it's been a while since I did.
I should have you blind rank chips. That'll be a summer bit.
Could do that. That'd be easy.
Yeah. I'd say
baked Lay's barbecue 1.
All right. So ahead of like
maybe it's a 3 or 4.
Stacks.
I don't mind. Stacks are pretty good though. Barbecue stacks are good.
What about something What about something weird like bugles?
Original bugles, plain. No, I don't need any
they're
flavor.
fire.
Like that's probably my second favorite chip, if you will, if it's a chip. Is a bugle a chip?
Yeah,
I'll consider it a chip. Yeah, for the purposes of this ranking.
What about like poppables?
I don't do poppables. My kids do, but I don't do those.
I'm gonna be honest. You strike me as like a Funyuns guy.
I hate fun. No, nothing. Onion. Nope. Out.
All right. What about like a chili cheese Frito?
Zero chance of eating that.
Oh, those are good.
I'm not hey, plain regular, just regular plain Cheetos.
I'm a big Scoops guy.
Are you a crunchy or a puffy Cheetos?
Crunchy.
Okay.
That's all I need to know. All right. Lay's wavy or Ruffles with ridges?
Oh man. Yikes.
It's only one answer.
Either one very often, but I think the wavy.
You rot.
No, wait, sorry. Ruffles with ridges. Yeah, way better.
Yeah.
Because you know how you can eat it? You can turn it over and just eat like a couple ridges at a time.
Better for dipping too. You need a little bite.
Kind of like eating a Kit Kat. You can just eat all around it, the chocolate all around the Kit Kat.
Did you used to eat Oboises? Do you know what Oboises are? Keebler used to make them, white bag.
Yeah, I do know what you mean, but no.
No. What about Munchos?
What?
Munchos.
No, I don't
bag,
like
real light, airy.
I've seen those, yeah.
No, yeah.
Fire.
Are you a big rye bagel Gardettos guy? Just the rye bagel chips?
I'm not a Gardettos or Chex Mix, nothing like that. I generally don't eat things that purposely will make my breath smell. Like onions, I'm out.
Selfish.
So you're out on you're out on the cheddar ruffles?
Oh.
Yeah, nothing like that. No.
Cheddar ruffles are so good. That might be my number one chip.
The delivery was kind of funny.
No, it was.
I generally that was pretty pragmatic.
Where are we at on Doritos?
Nacho cheese only because Cool Ranch ones make your breath stink.
You know they have like toothbrushes and gum and all sorts of things, right?
I'm very aware.
I feel you.
All right.
Yeah.
Kobe's calling me a psychopath. It's just kind of a name.
No,
caller.
he was calling Sautter a psycho, and I was giving splitting Ruffles ridges up like Kit Kats is psychopath. But that's why I was giving you the look. Because he's like, you could just eat a couple ridges at a time. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
And so a Kit Kat, right?
Half a chip.
That's what I mean. That's insane.
So a Kit Kat, it's just, think of the Kit Kat, this is the square. So you can eat the chocolate all the way around it. And then you can.
That's psychotic.
No.
That's how you eat a Kit Kat.
Do you split your Oreo cookies, you 4-year-old?
No, but you can also do the same thing with Twix. You can eat the chocolate all the way around it, and then you can take the caramel off. Then you just have the cookie left.
That's mildly disgusting.
But like, why?
Just for fun.
Like, I understand breaking the Kit Kat into the sections and like eating them by sections.
I understand fully that I'm in a glass house with my vacuum seal
with all these rocks you're about to throw.
So I'm gonna go ahead and see myself out of this conversation because, I feel like my first 40 minutes of the show was fine. Apparently, the rest of the free world does not. Jerome, it's fine.
I lost you somehow. I didn't hear a word you just said.
Mike,
that's good. You didn't miss anything.
Mike is just out here for deconstructed Twixes.
Yeah, that's the best way to eat them. It lasts longer.
Okay.
Buy another one.
It's kind of like a bugle. You can
take bites more slowly.
A bugle, you can. So it's like tornado, and you can just eat the one half of it, and then you eat the next half. The other half.
All right, kettle cooked or baked?
Baked.
Man,
that's just I don't like the baked chips at all.
Me neither. Kettle cooked is
baked is the bottom.
Elite.
Yeah, you get the good crunch. But baked is like the bottom of the totem pole for me. I'll go like kettle cooked or whatever the regular is, and then baked is way down there.
Sautter, you said savor. Did you take like a couple of bites of your sandwich when you were working all those long days and put the other half like back in the bag?
No. I don't do that.
Okay. All right. Hey, how about some of those endings yesterday, man? Like a lot of shockers. Were people grumbling about late game events yesterday at all, or were they just enjoying the moment of basketball? Because there were a lot of shaky issues yesterday.
I think they're still grumbling right now. Today.
Trip, no trip. Like, what are we talking? What's the big issue?
The Fort Calhoun ending, if it was a foul or not on the Lincoln Christian shot, which I believe it was a good call, non-call, not in that situation. They both kind of went up. So, yeah.
What are the biggest surprises for you so far in terms of results, performances, tables, or the floor is yours?
Yeah, I would say that Fort Calhoun win was pretty massive. That's a big one. Biggest one, I think, so far. Everyone else kind of, like in A, the teams that won, we kind of expected to win. Maybe Westside probably thought they probably won. But that one wasn't like, crazy. North, we expected them to win. Kearney winning, I mean, they were the 3 seed, so it's fine. B, not real shockers there at all. Norris looked amazing yesterday. And it feels like a collision course for Norris and Bennington and B and girls, and that's what it's kind of been all year. But Pius is so well coached. So that game with Bennington will be something. C1, nothing crazy. Yeah, no shocker, anything outside of that. Fort Calhoun was, that's something. So, I'm sure everyone saw Eric Jones, post-game interview, Coach Eric Jones at Fort Calhoun. He's right. Like, I was the only person that went and saw him all year. And they lost to Raymond Central that night. So, like they were a good team. They've been a good team, and they have a lot of depth, a lot more than you would think. And they play really fast, and Eric Jones is a great coach. Like, I've known him since he was a GA at Doane, like a decade ago. He's a really good basketball mind and a really good coach. So, they get Malcolm today, which is a different challenge altogether. So, because it is Hallie Dolliver, great, right? Like, she's great. Peyton Dolliver is coming, and we need to talk about her a lot more. She had a step through yesterday where everyone was like, "That's a travel," and I'm like, "It's not a travel. It was pretty slick. Like, it was pretty good." So, she's really good. So that matchup is interesting. Malcolm's going to need the supporting cast to really play well. They did yesterday, so they're going to need them to play well. So that one's intriguing. And Milford and Gothenburg are playing right now. Just started. So
hey, what's the score there?
I don't know.
I'm going to turn that on in a second. I obviously partial to Gothenburg, and
Gothenburg's up 10-6.
See what they can do with 6-7.
They're 10
playing in the post.
They're up what?
Gothenburg's up 10-6, 13-6, 8-0 run at the moment. So
let's go. Sweets.
And Tamala has 8 of their 13. How about that? Killer.
Okay.
Hey, did you know? So the Tamala connection is Dawson County, right? Is because like that's where Jet Tamala's dead, like from Lexington, Lexington people. So Lexington, Gothenburg, and it is so. Jet Tamala is her second cousin.
Yeah, well aware of that connection. Obviously, as some folks in Gothenburg try to be funny and throw it in my face sometimes, and I'm like, hey, I like Jet. It's not personal.
So that's just a neat little nugget kind of story. So it's something, that is something. And Gothenburg, good people, obviously. Zoe Beveridge, my guy Tom Beveridge, right? Everyone remembers Tom Beveridge, the Sutherland sailor, former Sutherland sailor, just like me. So
wait, stop. I asked you during state wrestling. I said you gave me you gave me your stomping grounds, and I said, "Hey, you're not claiming blank," and you said, "No, hell no."
I went there for 1 year of high school.
Hell no. That's what he said.
How'd he say it?
That's how he said it. He said, "Hell no."
1 year of high school, I went there.
All right.
So where do you?
You know, I have a long memory. I don't forget the things you say to me, Jerome.
Where'd you say, Ravi?
I said, where do you claim? Like, what's your claim?
Nebraska.
Oh,
well, when Ralston was winning, getting to the finals, he was a Ram.
No, I graduated from Ralston, so I'm an alum. I'm an alum of Ralston. I went to 3 different high schools in 4 years. So
I know. That's why I asked you where you claim.
You're such a front runner, and you know I hate those guys.
I am not. I can claim a lot of places because I've lived in a lot of places. So
I've lived in a lot of places.
My freshman year, I lived in Grand Island. I went to Walnut Junior High, the final year of ninth graders in the junior highs. And then sophomore year, I went to Sutherland, and junior and senior year, I went to Ralston.
So you went 2 years to Ralston. We got it. I'm putting Ralston on you. That's who you get.
Do you wish that they would bring back like an 83-pound weight class so you could go back to high school and wrestle?
Listen, my freshman, you're an asshole. My freshman year, I wrestled 100 pounds. The 1 year that I was 100 pounds ever in the state's history, and I weighed 96.
Yeah. Well, like this morning. All right, so
man,
I'm sorry. Well, you dropped a-hole on me. That wasn't very kind.
I have lost some weight in the last 2 years because I gave up soda.
There you go.
Actually, May 10th, 2024, last soda I had. So, which it's not pop, it's soda. If you want pop, I'll punch you in the face. It's soda.
So that's interesting too, because you're not afraid to just hit a fast food place, man. What do you get for your drinks?
Sweet tea, lemonade.
Oh, you're like my buddy.
I mean, that's not better for you, right?
It's sweet tea is great. It's the best kind of tea.
I didn't know you might like it, but it's not better for you though, right?
I still need the sugar to survive. So I in order to pull the 12-hour days, I need some caffeine and some sugar. So I switched from soda to lemonade, fruit punch, sweet tea.
Wow.
Coffee, a lot of coffee with creamer.
Makes a lot of sense from a sugar standpoint. I mean, I'm not here to listen. Whatever motivates you, Jerome, man, you do you, boo. You do you.
Sweet tea is the best tea because unsweetened tea is just water with food coloring.
Okay. I've never
just dirty water.
And you think my rationale is weird?
No, I know his is too. Don't
get it twisted, huh? All right, Jerome, what are we looking forward today with storylines?
I think one of the biggest ones is
27 points off of 23 turnovers again for North. I mean, goodness.
Bro, let's not have the
turnovers were a thing for everybody yesterday.
Yeah,
it's bad.
It all over.
The turnover situation is bad.
Yep.
There was the one game, it was who was Loomis and Dundee County Stratton, the first 9 a.m. game on Wednesday. There were 56 total turnovers. It was 9 a.m. That was tough to watch. So, but yeah, turnovers have been an issue for a lot of people, a lot of teams, all that. So hopefully we can cut those down, a little bit. I get it, you want to pressure people and all that stuff. But I mean, some of these weren't like steals. It was just we're chucking the ball out of bounds. So that's one. Biggest storyline is like, can North do it? Like that's the biggest storyline today and tomorrow. Can North finish the job? Right. It's Michaela's done a good job with this group, really good job, to be honest. So that's the biggest one. And then B, it's like, can Bennington get one in before they move up to Class A, which I think they're going to be just fine in A in girls basketball, to be honest, because they're so young and really good. But Norris is there and has some depth and really good too. So, and Gretna East, like Weekday Wade, he's a good coach. He's been there and done that. So that's another kind of storyline, if you will. And the C1's the toughest bracket. We've said that before, and whoever comes out of that, it's a war. So that's the other one. I mean, you look at like Bloomfield and D1, they're unbeaten. God, they were good yesterday. They're really good. Really good. And just like freshmen, sophomores, like they're young, they're good. They play fast. Really well coached. Best dressed coaching staff, by the way, so far of the state tournament. All matching everything. We're talking like they had royal blue sport coat or jackets on and tie. Head coach had a tie, and then they had the matching Nike Dunks on. So look pretty good.
Mike, anything else on the state tournament before I ask you a couple of Nebraska basketball questions?
No, I mean, I think that's it. I mean, it's kind of North Star girls, I think that would be fun. So North Star Millard West has the best player, and Kylie Pavin.
They're going to have to handle the basketball.
Yeah.
They got to take care of the basketball.
Yeah. And like Annie Lou she didn't shoot it well the other night, but she did everything else. And Millard West has knocked North Star out in the semis the last 2 years in a row, and they play today in the semis. Now, obviously, different roster, right, for Millard West, but it's just, is that in their head a little bit or not? But Tommy's done a really good job with that North Star group. They're a good team. Girls are good. They're fun to watch and all that stuff. So, that's kind of the girls basketball storylines, if you will, for the next 2 days.
As we look forward to Sunday, as Nebraska wraps up their regular season, in your mind, how important is it to get that triple bye as opposed to just the double bye? I mean, obviously it's the one more game, but for what Nebraska's goals are, how important is that for you?
I think it's pretty important. I think it's something that you clearly want. You clearly want to play for that. You want to lock that in. If Northwestern could have just, made a pass in the last minute and a half the other night, they would have already locked it in, because Purdue would have lost to Northwestern, but somehow Northwestern wanted to just throw it to the first row. So I do think it's very vital. I think it's really important. Obviously, Iowa Sunday, like this building that I'm sitting in.
It's going to be a thing.
Good luck. Like good luck to like the security staff and the stuff, because it's a 4 p.m. tip and it's against Iowa. Mm-hmm. And if anyone was in Iowa City for the Nebraska-Iowa game, it was really bad. Like it was way worse.
And it wasn't even like at capacity, but it was still nasty. It was still nasty.
Yeah.
It was way worse in person than you heard on TV or social media and stuff. It was way worse. So Iowa probably has one coming for them on Sunday with like the fans and stuff, I would imagine. And frankly, I think Nebraska, like, there's some payback there. They're not going to talk about that. They're going to say, we're not that. But I feel pretty good about Nebraska, rebounding, bouncing back, whatever, cliche you want to use, because Nebraska needs that win, and so does Iowa. Like Iowa losing to Penn State was really bad on Saturday. And then, they lost to Michigan last night. Iowa did. So, which, everyone kind of does. Iowa needs it to to lock in an NCAA tournament bid, and Nebraska needs it to lock in that triple bye and lock in like the 3-4 seed. Because I don't really think what Nebraska does in the Big Ten tournament moves their seed line much at all, unless they win it. Then that's totally different. But if they go 1-1 in the Big Ten tournament, Nebraska, I still think they're a 3 or 4, right? Like seed. So hoping for that 3, obviously, because you just have a little bit easier matchup.
Hey, did either one of you guys get up to yesterday or today and think that going into this, Creighton was going to have a shot at the 5 for when they're starting the tournament?
Not at all.
I mean, it's what had to happen and what's actually unfolding is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
I didn't think that.
Like they could be sitting at the 5,
I had resigned myself to a Wednesday game.
right?
Yeah, I had.
Yeah.
It's like Providence. DePaul, like
Help
things
it
that
out.
had to happen. It's like
Just
yeah,
helping brothers out.
HBO. man.
Yeah,
You know the funny thing though, you guys, this would be the most Mac thing ever is to have a run in him.
Yep. I actually was thinking about that the other day where it's like, how ironic would it be if this is the year they finally figured out how to win in New York?
Yeah.
Like that would be the most ironic thing ever.
If they win the Big East tournament and make the NCAA tournament because of that, it's the best coaching job Max maybe ever done.
I mean, honest, for what's looked like all year.
Yeah, forget it wasn't for the first 2 months.
Yeah, like
how long's the season? For 6 months. Like, what are we talking about?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I like it would be, and I love Mac. Like Mac and I are considered each other friends. It would be it would be amazing if he was able to do it. So
I just think from his own sanity's sake, man. I rock with him, and I just want him to be okay.
Yeah,
he seems a little distressed.
My thing with the whole Mac situation. This is my take. I've not talked to him about it at all. I don't think he goes out like this.
Yeah.
Like, so that's my take. Yeah. Carol in the comments, this is what I'm hoping for next week, that I'm actually at the state tournament on Wednesday, and then Nebraska's playing Friday, so travel day Thursday. So, yeah. That's me crossing my fingers.
You really need that triple bye, huh?
Yeah, bro. I need some help.
That's
here.
why it's so important.
Selfishly, yes.
Hey, Jerome, what's the media meal for us or for you guys today?
Lunch, I believe it's pulled pork sandwiches. I saw on the sign, which is great. Yesterday for lunch was the taco bar, which is my absolute favorite, and I may or may not have got seconds. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, I don't think it's frowned upon.
It is.
Well, it stays in there till it's gone, right? Oh, because of the staggered shifts, you don't want to eat it all.
No, there's just a lot of people, and you kind of want to save some for everybody else.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but I was the first in line for the taco
I've gotten
bar
there for
yesterday.
night games, and I'm like, who ate all the sandwiches? I mean,
Yeah.
not that I would go last after all you people anyway, but if I'm first, it's different.
Yeah, so I did. I was first in line, and then I waited a little bit, and it kind of looked like everyone had already eaten, and I'm like, okay, there's some left here. I'm gonna grab a plate and put some chips and some stuff on there. So it was good. And no, I don't get crazy with like onions and stuff on there at all. It's just chips, some meat, cheese, call it a day.
Yeah, we know no onions for Sautter.
You keep hula hooping through that Cheerio, and you watch that girlish figure of yours.
Hula hooping through a Cheerio. That's actually good. Yeah. I could say some stuff. I'm gonna leave it.
It's good talking to you, Mike.
I mean, you already dropped a-hole on me. I mean, what's
you got that Omaha North colored shirt on. Don't tell Coach Lamanji.
Okay. 4-year-old.
It's NextGen. We'll see if we can have them get you some stuff. All right.
Hey, I told my guy Nick, he saw you yesterday. I said, hey, man, put an injection in his butt. He looks like he's about 48 pounds.
You know me. Like, I've been nicknamed NASCAR Mike before. That's fine. I'm cool. Like, you tell me what you want me to do, let's do it. Like, brands, whatever, you know.
NASCAR Mike.
Let's get some TRT in that bunda. Let's do it.
Hey, wait.
Yeah,
how much money again?
Yeah, like,
back me up, baby.
want-
Costco, Hy-Vee, First National.
No, it's a different. It's Pinnacle Bank Gaming Week. I rock with them real hard. Actually.
Sorry, yeah, man.
Easy on the banks. Easy on the
and
bank.
they've been with you for a long time, so I know why you. Yeah,
Yeah, we got to keep it there. Even though I may bank there, I may not. But yeah, they're my people over there, Pinnacle Bank. So, yeah, I do have the corn guy shirt on today though.
The black one the other day was legit.
Yeah, this one is just the corn guy. So shout out to Hurrdat Brand Goods. If you need some cool stuff, call them.
Hey, that commercial they use with the music behind with the stitching going is pretty sweet.
It's good. Yeah, I'm guessing Sam
It's
did
almost
that.
like we're a media company. We could do that kind of stuff.
Sam's
cool.
a G. I think he probably is the one that shot that. Sam's really good at that stuff.
Everybody loves them some Sam.
I think I don't know who shot the one. They're all good though. I know that.
Hey, Sam is,
Robbie's an equal opportunity. He's like even Steven, man. I don't think he appreciates the single shout outs.
Sam, Logan, Kyle, they're all good.
Look at you.
Joel, Diego.
Diego's my guy. Diego's my guy. The Edwards stuff, Diego and Colin.
He gave it.
They're all good, man.
Diego and Colin are killing it on the Edwards Auto Group thing for me. So people have asked me, so how many trucks do you have? And I'm like, guys, yeah,
these are little extended test drive deals. They're not handing the keys over permanently on all.
Shoot, just be glad they picked you. They didn't pick me, and he's my guy.
Hey man, I'm sorry. I didn't say no. Like I said, NASCAR Mike. You know, the NASCAR guys after they win, they're like, shout out to the Toyota, Coca-Cola, Goodyear, whatever you need. I'm your guy.
All right, Mike. Enjoy the rest of the state tournament, and I hope the timing works out for you next week with Nebraska and Boys State.
Me too. I do very much so. Hey, you know what? You guys have a great day.
Hey,
thanks.
You too, Mike.
Thanks, buddy. See you later.
Try not to eat all the media food, okay?
Yeah.
Wow.
Leave some for DB when he gets there.
No.
No,
I don't.
You're not a pulled pork guy.
I'm not. That's just not it's not an environment in which I enjoy getting food.
I would mess up I love a taco nacho bar though.
And I mean, no offense to
bar.
my media brethren, but we are weird.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man. You know, you see like grated cheese over and where the lettuce is and tomatoes where the cucumbers are supposed to be. It's like,
just keep it clean, homie.
Who can't?
You're going to mix it all together anyway.
It's not true.
If you're eating a taco.
A taco. Shane, on my tacos, I am a meat, cheese, tomato guy. That's it. That's it.
I'm not a tomato guy.
I actually like tomatoes.
Yeah, I don't like the
I put them on my burger when the guys came over the other night. Like
I don't do
thin sliced tomatoes.
Not doing that.
Apparently, one of the guys has never heard that you can put mushrooms on a burger. He thought that was funny.
I don't like mushrooms either.
But he also asked me if I had sauerkraut, which I thought was weird.
Oh, what are we doing? I know that's 100% what that guy looked like.
Tough.
Have you ever seen a non-white ask for sauerkraut in your life?
Nope.
That's my point. Let's take a quick break here. We'll come back. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, shoot, I think the biggest thing is just learning your teammates' names, right? Like, you come into a locker room, you got to learn 120 guys' like new names and like different relationships with different guys, and just build a relationship with the offensive line, receivers, running backs, and defense as well. And I feel like I've done a great job doing that. No, I think like getting outside, going to dinner with guys, hanging out at their house, my house, whatever it is, and I feel like we've done that, like hanging out at the offensive line, them coming to my house, me going to their house and stuff. So we've done some cool things. Yeah, I love it, honestly, just because like we got into it so fast where I could build chemistry with the receivers early, and it's not like a later deal thing to where we're already in install 4 with our offense, and we're damn near almost done. So it's big time for us, just getting a head start on everything.
Just being less mechanical. I mean, I feel like one of the things that I'm good at is making plays off schedule. So if I need to make a play off schedule, make it off schedule instead of being mechanical and just sitting in the pocket. Man, it's been fun. I mean, I wouldn't want any other way. I mean, we got good quarterbacks. We got Ant, brings a lot of juice to the room. So we got Danny, he brings juice to the room too. But a big thing that I like is iron sharpens iron. So every time we go out on that field, we're making each other better. We're improving each other's game. Like, I'm doing stuff I haven't did since I got here, just because of the other quarterbacks that's in the room.
listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. Don't forget, you can catch all the games and all the best bar food this weekend at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. Make sure you head on over there. Check out the specials. Maybe watch a little hoops.
Yeah.
A lot of hoops.
Yeah, and with some of these conference tournaments, like you can get some day ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not to be confused with Brian.
No, he's not going to be there.
No, that's just day ball.
Oh, day ball. Maybe if you had a pronunciation problem. Day ball.
I thought it was Duval.
Duval. Hey, Sash, can we get that? Can we get the picture that DB sent us? So this is the vacuum sealing that I'm going to be honest. This makes it worse for you. This looks awful.
Wait, why?
It just does not look appetizing to me at all.
I mean, like those corn dogs are like vacuum sealed in pairs.
I see that.
The hash browns look sensational. See how easy they are to stack?
The hash browns look like McDonald's eggs.
But they're just see, that's how tight the vacuum seal is.
How what?
Tight.
Tight? You tight?
You got you can't. I mean, don't knock the hustle.
No, here's my problem: is your entire, not your entire, a part of your justification for this was that this is aesthetically pleasing to you.
Yes,
I'm be honest, this does not look aesthetically pleasing. This is tough. I don't.
I'm adding to the quality of freshness and life of this thing.
Rico says, "Why are the uncooked corn dogs wrinkly?" That's what I'm worried. That's what I'm.
Yeah, wrinkled corn dogs don't look good.
I've got some concerns there. You know, got some concerns about the wrinkly corn dogs.
You guys are children. You're absolute children. You're confusing a flaccid pee-pee with corn dogs. Just kids.
You're calling us children, and you just use the term pee-pee.
Well, shoot. Touche. Whatever. Move along. It's not that funny.
Alex.
What? What'd he say?
This looks like a soggy wiener.
See? It's fine. You guys.
I'm sorry.
What'd you want me to say?
I don't know, but you can't call other people children if you're using the term pee-pee. You can use whatever term you want, but you lose the right to call other people children. Is that fair?
There's just no winning with you today.
There's no good word for it. I understand that. Soggy wiener made me laugh really hard, though. Those all look like they need a quarter of a blue pill. You know the worst part about this is you went out of your way to have Micah take that picture for us.
I wanted you to see that I'm not crazy. And Sasha go, hey, this is a setup, because what happened was, I'm just going to tell the story. I wanted you guys to see. So I walked in, I said to Shane, I go, hey, see, do you guys understand what I'm telling you? Like, what do you think? That looks like a solid vacuum sealed job. And Sasha goes, I don't know. What do you think? And I go, oh, this is what we're doing.
I said, we'll ask the audience.
Yeah. So I knew I was screwed. That was just for the group text.
Oh, my bad. I thought that was for everybody.
It's fine.
To be fair to myself, Ravi did ask that I crop that and bring it into the show.
I did. Haas says those corn dogs need to go call NextGen.
You guys.
It is. No, it's 100% my fault. I'll own that. This went exactly how I wanted it to.
Wow. I just wanted you to get. So do you know why the corn dogs look a little wrinkled? Is because I sealed them relatively fresh and not frozen. So that's part of the.
Oh, so they're not old.
So there was some
Big Daddy Wrinkly Balls reference, huh?
but he's got old balls. So there was some pliability in the cornmeal. Is that what you?
Thank you.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Thank you.
Because if they were frozen, there would be very little give in the cornmeal.
Keeping with your childish theme, it was soft to the touch.
So I went out of my way not to say soft or hard there. I really did. Notice how
And then at 9 o'clock. Go ahead.
That's the best drop Shane's ever played. That was perfect.
They weren't unfrozen. I wiped the ice particles off, and then I had to get the bags cut to the right size. So however long that took,
They
Kale,
thawed a little.
is how the corn dogs got.
That makes sense. More pliable.
Yes.
I told you. I went out of my way. You're the one that went soft and hard on me on the corn dogs. I went out of my way not to say that.
Dank, I have vacuum.
Dude, Haas is on a roll.
I'm just gonna continue to try to be professional. Dank, even though you threw me under the bus and got me scalded the other day, I do have individual portions of like sweet potato fries vacuum sealed.
I could understand if you're wanting to basically meal prep with like pre-cook meal prep, how that would make sense to kind of pre-portion things. That makes sense. I get that.
Carol, why are you so pragmatic? It creates so much unnecessary plastic waste.
Dank says that was stank.
He said, why? KJ, like we're here, man. Are you like a big environmentalist guy?
I don't know.
The dude hit me with caps. I feel like it's Kobe. Wyatt's a fool. He's definitely kicked out.
So before that, Wyatt made a comment on sauerkraut, and because I made the assumption that whoever correctly made the assumption that whoever requested the sauerkraut was Wyatt, and he compared
T-Mac text me. He goes right after you said that. T-Mac goes, Ravi's a fool.
I'm right though.
I said, this dude will say just anything.
And he goes, Asian Wyatt goes, he's like, well, I like kimchi, and that's like Asian sauerkraut. I was like, different things. Those are different things.
So I'm at the grocery store yesterday. Okay. It's 50% off. I'm trying to clean up, right? So I'm checking out, and out of my left ear, somebody goes, where's the kimchi? And I looked, and it was flipping Josh Weiss.
Was it?
Yes. Staring me dead in my grill. And I was like, whoa.
Where's the foul?
Sorry.
And he's like, yeah, I'm up in Omaha, because he lives in Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
And he was getting some groceries done too.
Yeah, getting your kimchi game right.
Where's the kimchi? And I was like, oh my god,
dude, that would freak me out. Oh,
well, it kind of did. I think I played it off well because I recognized him right away.
Yeah,
he looks just like his Twitter profile picture.
See, it's hard sometimes because a lot of people don't, or they don't have their real picture online at all.
Yeah.
So some people will be like, oh, hey, I'm this, and I'm like, I never would have known that in a million years.
Yeah. I want you guys just to like grow up for a second and say, you know what? That's a pretty good vacuum seal for home, right? It's not a huge industrial one.
Yeah, I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing the quality of the vacuum seal.
I mean, look how crisp those. See, this is a big deal to me. That's a great vacuum seal.
I think you did a very good job of getting all the air out.
Thank you. I have a dry or wet option. The wet one doesn't work though because it does soak up all the moisture, but then sometimes it gets to the end of where the vacuum seal is and it makes your sealer messy.
Kel Jam is just straight spiraling right now. By the way.
I don't know what the I don't know what Scott said, for the love of God.
Haas said, I never thought those pictures would leak.
Dude, he's a trout. He's wild.
We're just gonna get this printed giant and put it in the back of our studio here.
People like no context. I started to put it on Twitter and I was like, there's no way I'm inviting nonsense. Because it needs context.
Yeah, it does.
But now you know, like I just think aesthetically it looks better.
Yeah, that's fine. I wanted to get into sauerkraut. That's where I was trying to take this.
Where's the kimchi?
Well, because I was trying to figure out.
Have you mischaracterized sauerkraut?
No,
so much for getting into NFL free agency. That went south.
The league year doesn't start till Wednesday. We got some time. Nothing's real until then, anyway. We got plenty of time for you to figure out how Kyler Murray can be a Pittsburgh Steeler.
I just don't want him to be a Cleveland Brown. He can go to Minnesota.
Yeah. I think Minnesota's a good spot for him.
Yeah, Minnesota is going to be pretty good. How about the Chiefs moving on from McDuffie?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's very.
I think the Rams gave up too much, though.
It's very similar to the move they made philosophically with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. So it's a good thing. You know what else I've done? I told you I did the chicken patties.
Yeah.
He didn't send the picture of those.
Yeah.
Chicken patties look outstanding. Even I'd eat them, and I know what they are. And I haven't had a chicken patty in probably.
Oh, like the breaded ones that Zoe eats.
Yeah.
I like a good chicken patty.
Yeah, she just uses a fork. She doesn't like do the whole bun thing. She just
so she's like you. She's like
eats them with like spaghetti. Yeah.
Does she do? Oh, she do like little cutlets then, like a little chicken cutlet deal.
Yeah.
Does she do sauce on them?
Ketchup. She's a ketchup kid.
Somebody in the chat said they were doing. I think it might have been Dank, which is he said he was doing just mayo on a hot dog.
Yeah, I that's weird. Although I looked at a video yesterday because I have the place that has all the stuff off. Now these lobster tails may be from like 2023, but
worth it. Let's do it.
It was like 50% off of like $9 lobster tails.
Yeah.
So of course I got them, and I did what?
Vacuum sealed them.
I re-vacuum sealed them.
That makes sense.
And so I was just looking at quick ways to do it, and he used mayo as the binder for the seasoning once he cracked the tails open, because he said mayo is just it's just oil and butter. And he used it as a sealer. Then he browned them in the air fryer, which I would never do, but
I don't think that's.
And it looked legit.
Is that true about mayo? It's just oil and butter. Is that right?
I mean, I think maybe he was like being in theory.
What is mayo made of? Come on, Google, help me out.
No, because
no, there's like egg yolks in there. Yeah, there's other stuff in there.
Well, what did he say? Eggs and butter,
oil and butter. You said.
I think he said.
Google me.
I'll see what he said.
All right. Well, there's other stuff in there. That's the point.
Yeah, appreciate. So officially, since and it's weird because I'm closer to her in proximity, but I feel like Sasha's crossed over to your guys' side. Back at the bar, it felt like she was always trying to keep the peace. Here, I feel like she's like torching the thing.
So I
feel like Numbnuts is empowered over there.
I think when you're in the live setting, because this is the first time Sasha's produced for us in a while, right? I think when you're in the live setting, it's really easy to get caught up in in the laughs.
Yeah, and she's not supposed to pick sides, but I feel like she should.
You're like, I've known her longer. She's on my side.
I mean, yes.
You have to think though. I stay here after you leave, so I'm making up hours. You know,
wow.
I'm really I'm catching
so what's
up on
Shane's excuse? Because he's been an idiot.
I think Shane.
I mean, no offense.
I think Shane, like I said, especially when Austin and Rico are here, I think it's really easy to get caught up in the jokes, and just kind of snowballs on you a little bit. And I'll be honest, not to
How he took the pictures didn't do it justice, but it's fine.
I mean, yeah, probably not. Probably didn't help you out any.
But still.
Well, maybe.
No, he's crashing out. He's having a full-on breakdown. It's funny, though, because, I mean...
Remember how close he was to getting on my unprotected draft list? He's weirded me out.
Yeah. He's having a hard time right now.
No, I don't get everything from TikTok, but you guys will be. This is funny. Like TikTok is like is top 3 search engines.
No, that's how a lot of people use it now. They use it as a search engine.
Yeah.
It's like, you know how a lot of people will go to Twitter to like find news instead of going to like a news website. Like people use that. That's how people use TikTok now.
Why is he yelling at me though?
Oh, he's just crashing out. He cannot figure out why you vacuum sealed the corn dogs. Like he's totally losing it.
He said it's so much wasted plastic.
Here's the funny thing about this is you actually called Micah and thought he was going to do you a solid.
Yeah, he did it wrong.
Which is, I mean...
Well, he couldn't be bothered, as you heard.
With his personality, that was probably not the bet you wanted to make.
Do they think this food storage is normal? I don't know. I mean, they eat well, so I'm sure.
So what is he? I said I trust TikTok advice as far as I can throw dish uphill.
He said plastic. And KJ, you've got to stop using caps.
He's full on losing it. He's out.
And Kobe's gassing him up. I'm not saying like a search. Did you remember to put it in the freezer? Yes, dang you tattletale. I'm changing his name. Like I've cut up jalapenos and I vacuum sealed them so they're ready to go, fresh out of the garden.
What does that do instead of just like put them in the fridge? Like how long
save time and shelf life on the jalapeno?
How long are you keeping those jalapenos?
I don't know. I probably have 8 bags. He said those corn dogs packaged to be sous vide. I do need to probably bring my sous vide out, but I haven't tried to convert any bad beef lately.
Yeah,
I may do it for sous vides are foolproof.
Yeah, they became very popular for a while.
No, it's a lot of like setup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not a lot. I mean, it's a tank.
But
I got to use a thermometer. Yeah, fill it with water. But now with a vacuum sealer, it's easy.
Speaking of TikTok, have you seen people try and sous vide stuff in their dishwasher?
Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
They're like, hey, check out. They like vacuum seal a piece of beef or like steak or whatever, and they throw it in their dishwasher to cook it.
I think Jack's mad about something too. Like, just an exclamation point. What now, Jack?
It may have been the 10 minutes of corn dog jokes.
Oh, you think he's on delay?
He might be a little.
Well, you guys are children. You know what I mean? A train. I spent at least. I don't know. I wasted an hour 20 yesterday vacuum sealing.
Mm-hmm.
I did probably 30 chicken breasts.
Somebody brought up a good point. You've got.
I redid the shrimp.
You've got the time since you don't sleep. That helps.
Yeah.
Creates a longer day for you.
I'm telling you, it's soothing too, just to watch the plastic tighten.
Sure. I can understand that. Like it's a.
Did that sure sound sarcastic?
I know.
Now she's saying something slick too.
I know it sounded sarcastic. That's why I tried to get it.
What now, SD?
I was just gonna say. I mean, if anything this week proved that you might be a serial killer, I think that last comment was it.
What'd I say?
Where's the file? It's the air being sucked out. That's the best part.
Oh,
those lines.
Context.
You guys, I'm just good. Best wishes having a show where I don't talk. You guys twist everything. It's fine. Yes, I re-vacuum sealed my shrimp.
I had our friend Rico make a photo for you guys. It's in the stream.
What'd he do? Oh gosh. Okay.
I didn't do it. That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Look at the look on your face. It's almost like, why does this dude have a corn dog in my face?
Why are you pointing your corn dog at me? Get out of here, man.
He is such a child. He just got back, like zero chill.
To be fair, I told him to do that.
Carol says new profile pic.
It's fine. Okay, you guys. I hope everybody's having a good time. Fudge.
Scott.
Unbelievable.
For context, that was a screenshot of you pointing a Nerf gun at Ravi earlier. I just had him have the corn dog. It's relevant.
I had to be careful. This thing needed a safety because it's actually loaded.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pull the trigger.
Pew pew.
You're holding a loaded corn dog?
So stupid.
I don't know. I'm looking at the picture. That's on. I
Just
don't know.
This is so stupid.
We're providing a public service. Wyatt says, I needed this going into the weekend. Thank you, guys.
So stupid.
Dude, T-Graph wins. He wins. Did you see what he said?
Oh, no. We're not doing this.
I think we got to end the show.
And Tony just comes in after like a month.
Out of nowhere.
Blazed the whole place.
Drops a scud.
Yeah, I'm going full-fledged pout mode.
Well, that's the show for today. Oh, T-Graph, that was killer. That's TB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live. I'll be back on Monday. Hopefully we can convince DB to return as well. Hope you guys have a great weekend.